Oh, look at that. It says I'm live on YouTube. Is this still working? Good, it is. Live chat is up. Nobody's watching yet, but it's up. Notification has been sent out on YouTube. So that's good. Hasn't been sent out on Discord yet. So that's always bad. Alright, so who do we have? First person in the chat is Henry Cobley. Says, hello, I am here and first. Redneck Zeus popping in saying howdy. Howdy, 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 Redneck Zeus. So, good news, everyone. Today's stream was decided on by our channel members. I popped up a poll to ask what they wanted me to stream today, because I have two active streams going on, The Witcher 3 and Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I have 7 channel members, and 4 of them voted, and in a 3-to-1 vote, The Witcher 3 won. So, let that be a lesson as to how powerful the status of a member is on my channel, because members' polls are usually won by just a couple votes, 1 or 2 votes, because, you know, if you're the first one to vote in the poll, that's 25%, typically. But anyway, so that's what happened, and that's why we're streaming The Witcher 3 today. So, we haven't... I'm trying to remember if... Where the hell are we? Alright, we're... God, I feel like it was last Tuesday that we streamed. For some reason, I have no idea what we... I don't remember what we did. Oh, we're in Velen. I remember that. New quest available. Well, we're gonna do the Fall of the House of Rearden. That's where we're gonna start. Redneck Zeus says, democracy is cringe. Read some Aristotle. Technically, I would say that, yeah, it's like Crazy D Entertainment says, join. Very cheap. That's true. The lowest tier on my channel is $1.99. Redneck Zeus, I would actually say that the polls on my channel are more like a voting aristocracy than a democracy, because A, there's a paywall, so it's not like the hoi polloi can vote. You have to actually, in my members-only polls, that is, which is very few of my polls, but, you know, it happens. You have to have bought your way in, so that makes it more like aristocracy, like landowning aristocracy, than a democracy. So, I would agree, democracy is cringe. Read some Aristotle. Wonder if this crying lady has something to do with the mission we're supposed to be doing.
What was that about?
What's become of me in me elder years? Refused a roof over me head by a common churl. I was born a noble's daughter.
Yeah, she was a noble's
My brother
daughter.
and I, we managed the manor for years.
What happened to him?
A caller came one day. A drifter, a hunter. It wasn't long before we fell in love and wed.
Sounds like a good story, and they lived happily ever after.
He took offense, refused to bid me farewell.
Hypermapping says Liena to Oryzidielowask Polska Goram, blah 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 blah. Okay, hypermapping. That checks out.
I could take care of those monsters for you.
You guys like the armor? After I ended the stream last time, I went back to Raven's Perch, or Raven's Perch? Yeah, Crow's Perch, that's what it's called. I was like, Raven's Perch didn't sound right. I went back to Crow's Perch, and I got the Nilfgaardian armor from the trader, because I had hit level 10.
My treasure, savings really, they're yours.
What'll that leave you?
Do you like the Nilfgaardian armor that I'm wearing now, or the Temerian armor that I was wearing last stream?
I've other heirlooms to sell. But I know you witchers don't work for free. I could never let you go without honest pay. Gods keep you.
I like this mission. We're gonna want our horse though, because that's 700 meters away. No reason to run when we've got a fast roach. Come on, roach. Come on, roach. Wind's howling. How do you like that silver? Those are the ones that I always think of when I think of The Witcher. If I think of God of War, I think boy. And if I think of Red Dead Redemption 2, I think of you're alright, boy. And Lenny! And if I think about Kingdom Come Deliverance, I think about, I feel quite hungry. And, Henry's come to see us. Crazy D Entertainment says, I missed the last stream. I like this armor. Well, that's fair. If you've only seen this one, it's much easier to choose between the two. The Temerian armor, I like it. It looks good. I think they actually do a good job with the Temerian armor, kind of making it look like Witcher gear. So I think it fits pretty well. The Nilfgaardian armor definitely does not look like Witcher gear, but it still looks pretty good. I like it. When they added the 3 sets, the Temerian armor, Nilfgaardian armor, and the Skellige armor, out of the 3, the Skellige armor was my favorite. It just looks really, really cool. But when they added those in DLC after the game was released, I genuinely liked them all. Especially considering I'm pretty sure they were free. Or maybe I bought the season pass, I can't remember. Oh, that's the wrong button. How the heck do I have to... Ah! Okay, so that's probably... Ah! I'm on fire!
Booby trap. Whoever said it.
Alright, that's Witcher Vision.
Be careful. Someone's here.
There we go. That checks out. Yeah, before starting the stream, I was on YouTube, just kind of scrolling through, looking at stuff, you know, as I like to do. And I noticed Neon Knight had uploaded, I think it was Neon Knight, it was one of the Witcher channels, had uploaded a video that said that CD Projekt Red had nerfed all the Witcher armor, and I was like, huh, I wonder if that'll come up in my live stream.
One less to worry.
Because so far I haven't... Ooh, that was close. Almost walked into that.
Something's not right.
Is this the... Did I just walk straight into the main barn? I gotta look around the outside first.
Problem solved.
But I'll disarm both of these tripwires first. Oh.
A tripwire.
Wonder if it's connected to those crossbows.
Problem solved.
A lot of alchemist powder. Okay, let's go back out and check out the other buildings first, because I'm pretty sure that's the main building. No tripwire here. There we go. Fancy
Look
picture.
like twins. Old woman's brother. Must be.
I like it when you have a set of fraternal twins and someone's like, huh, looks like twins. I'm like, how? You know? They just look like siblings. Siblings look like each other. They don't necessarily have to be twins. And when you're not identical twins, it's usually not similar enough for me to notice offhand that you are twins unless you say something, you know? I know quite a few sets of twins. Most of them, you know, are identical twins. But I know a couple sets of fraternal twins, and they just look like siblings. They don't look any more like each other than any other siblings that I've ever seen. At least not for the most part, I should say.
One less to worry about.
So, I mean, Witcher is a Witcher. Geralt is a trained Witcher, so maybe his eyes are just a touch better than mine. But,
A tripwire.
Ow! Shit. That almost got me. You guys see that? That almost killed me. Oh man, I gotta be more careful than that. I don't want water as my food. I gotta set something a little bit more healy-wise to my food. There, we'll set that. Equip, and we'll equip that to where the water is. That'll help me heal a little bit better. I don't like having to use Swallow to heal, because then I get my toxicity up, and that's more of an emergency, you know.
Wonder what door
Sturdy
this
barn
opens.
key. It's more of an emergency during battle situation. Yeah, I almost freaking died from that crossbow.
One less to worry about.
So, Crazy D, what you been up to since... Well, you said you missed last week, so you were probably... Last time you were probably in was the Thursday before. I've since then switched over to just streaming on the Tuesdays, because I've got so many videos that I'm working on right now and releasing that I need to make sure that I'm actually releasing them, because I only have until early February before I'll have a new game to focus on, and I want to make sure that all of the Bannerlord content that I want to produce before then, I can. Dolores Reardon's Diary, the 3rd of Fianin. Hot summer days have come earlier than usual this year. Humbert has grown unbearable. He gets angry whenever I accompany the milkmaids to the river. He says I'm not to fraternize with the help. But what makes him truly furious is when I converse with Jan and Fred. He claims a well-born lady should not mix with men of lower rank, that doing so undermines his rightful authority over them. Perhaps once the summer swelter begins to fade, he'll become more tolerable. The 20th of Fian. The boredom weighs heavier and heavier upon me. I love my brother and I'm glad we did not sell the estate after our parents died, but at times I daydream of what it would be like to live somewhere else, with other people. The 43rd of Fian. We've a guest. He's a son of a lord from somewhere near Lands of Velen. A hunt took him across our land and he asked for lodging. Oh, what joy! Finally, something is happening. The 15th of Lamas. The time has come to admit it. I love Roderick, and I feel he loves me too. I hope Humbert will be pleased. The 18th of Lamas. I told Humbert about Roderick and me. He flew into a rage. He said that match was out of the question. Perhaps I can convince him otherwise. The 21st of Lamas. Humbert remains implacable, but I shan't abandon the love of my life for him. If I'm left with no other choice, I will run away with Roderick.
Someone's journal.
Crazy D Entertainment says, which February game are you planning on playing? Hogwarts Legacy is the main one. What other February games are there? There's one that is scheduled to come out in February that I was planning on playing when it was supposed to come out in November of this year. But by delaying it to February, they've put it up against a much larger game that have been planning on playing for a while and have actually pre-ordered, which is Hogwarts Legacy. I was going to play Wild West Dynasty in November of this year, but then they delayed it, and now it's just... They delayed it and set it then in a month with way too stiff of competition. It was really stupid of them to do that, because it's a small indie game. If they would have just got it done and released it in November of this year, it probably would have done really well. You probably would have had a ton of streamers and YouTube people playing it online. It would have got a ton of attention, considering it's a small indie game, you know. It could have performed really, really well initially, but because they delayed it, especially to a time where, like I said, there's a lot stiffer gaming competition, because nothing came out in November, you know. Like I said, lots of people probably would have played it. But anyway...
something here.
I think that's going to seriously hurt the overall performance of Wild West Dynasty. Now, mind you, if, you know, depending what the situation is, I still might end up playing it, because it looks like an interesting game, you know. But it's certainly not going to be a priority for me. But yeah. Crazy D Entertainment says, I can't wait to play Hogwarts. I'm actually I'm also looking forward to it a lot. It looks really good. Everything they've showed of it so far makes the gameplay look fun. Looks like they put a lot of work into it. Overall, like I said, I'm definitely more excited about it than I thought I was going to be. When there was the first announcement, I was like, you know, because, like, I've seen the Harry Potter movies, I've read the books. I'd call myself somewhat of a fan. But I'm not, like, a crazy fan of it. And so when they announced it, I was like, it's okay. You know, we'll see what happens.
Let's see what's
but the more I saw of it, and of course the more controversy there was around it for the reasons that are really stupid, the more I was like, you know what? I am going to play this game.
Hope you're not hurt.
Redneck Zeus says, people used to think my sister and I were twins, but we look nothing alike. Yeah, I get that with my siblings all the time, too. They'll be like, wow, you look exactly like each other. And I'll be like, I don't see it. But that's the difference between actually recognizing someone and just noticing one or two similar features. Because you, Redneck Zeus, you know exactly what you look like and you know exactly what your sister looks like. So for you, you look nothing alike. It's the same for me and my siblings. Or even me and some of my children and stuff. Like, I can see similar features. Like, oh yeah, our nose looks really similar. Or we have similar cheekbones or something like that. Or it could be surface level, like we have the same color hair or something, you know. But, you know, beyond that, I also can see all the differences. And so people who rarely see you, like I ran into a cousin the other day who I don't see very frequently, and he clearly doesn't see me very frequently, and he called me by my brother's name. And I was like, no, actually, I'm Nico. And he's like, and he like was shocked at it. He like, it was the most surprising thing he'd ever heard. And I was like, yep.
Understand all the tracks.
Since I was born, you know.
For good reason.
Redneck Zeus, he says, we also just have really similar names. What is she like? Redneck Athena?
Don't look a bit like lost travelers.
Redneck Hera? That's probably better. Redneck Hera.
Means Lewis sold me out.
Lewis?
Old friend, kinda.
Crazy D Entertainment says, I was scared it was going to be cancelled, then just suck, but it looks great. I played most of the games. The new movies kind of killed the vibe, but I love me some Potter. Yeah, so with the Fantastic Beasts one, I saw the first one and I was like, it was okay, you know, like, I felt kind of about it how I feel about all Harry Potter movies. I was like, that was okay. I didn't hate that. And I watched it. And then the second one, it took me like 8 times to watch through the second Fantastic Beasts movie because I just kept falling asleep. You know, maybe it was just really badly made. Maybe the pacing was bad. Whatever it was not keeping me drawn in. So whatever it was, it took me several times to actually watch that one. And then, but I finally did watch it and I was like, I guess that was okay. You know, I didn't feel any strong feelings towards it. But then I haven't seen the third one and I heard it was absolutely terrible. Like, I heard it was just atrociously bad. So, and I'm pretty sure it killed the franchise, because I think Warner Brothers said they're not doing any more Fantastic Beasts movies. So, I feel like most people feel pretty similar to how we have about them. Her name is Alexia, mine is Alexander. That's fair. Those are pretty close together. I could see how your parents would confuse that. Well, I mean, but parents do that. Or not your parents, I could see how other people confuse that. But parents do that. I have 3 daughters, and all of them have pretty similar names. All start with the same letter, you know.
Could be interesting. Love to see it.
Come along.
Hypermapping says Gigma Nico. Gigma Nico indeed. Crazy D Entertainment says, right, there was some plot errors in it for me. It was garbage for sure. So you saw the newest one? Like I said, I didn't see it, but I heard it was really, really bad. But like, I was never a Harry Potter in the theaters kind of person. I think I saw the 6th and 7th one, like the 6th and one of the 7th ones. I think maybe part 2 of the 7th one in theaters, but that's it for the original Harry Potter movies. And I of course didn't see any of the.
Somehow doubt he's one of your best friends.
Where the heck is my horse? There it is.
Drink with someone in the evening, check if he's robbed you in the morning. Was before Faltas kissed this.
I certainly didn't see any of the Fantastic Beasts movies in theaters.
Bounty on his
So.
head, normal contracts were hard to come by. So
Randick Zeus says, my name was not supposed to be Alexander, but the rest of my family didn't like the name my mom originally picked out. Well, what was the original name?
merrymaking at the Golden Hanged Man, smack in the middle of Hag.
Crazy D said, yes, I unfortunately binged them recently. Well, I mean, it's not, like I said, watching a bad movie, it's not like it's the worst thing in the world to do because, what, you lose an hour or 2 of your life.
And that's why you trust
But it's not, even a terrible, terrible movie usually still has at least 1 or 2 things that were redeeming about it. And now, I can't, like I said, I can't say that for sure about the 3rd Fantastic Beasts movie because I haven't seen it. But, I'm sure there were at least a couple moments that made you laugh or actually made you pay attention. Duncan? Like Sir Duncan the Tall? You could have been Sir Duncan the Tall, Redneck Zeus. I don't know if you're tall, but... Or you could have had a famous donuts restaurant. Lewis won't be happy. Oh.
Good to see you, alive and well.
Oh, yeah?
Of course. We're old mates, ain't we?
We're old mates, ain't we?
Geralt of Rivia.
Oh, man.
Witcher.
My back hurts. It's been killing me for a couple days here.
Prime contract available in the area. Sit down.
Lido23 says, are you a 4090, Chad? Do I look rich to you?
Whoa,
I have a 3080 Ti.
Remember, you're on my turf.
I feel like I probably won't need to upgrade for a bit yet. I probably won't do it. I mean, so,
They'll be nipping at your heels
if
for a
I
while.
suddenly had some extra money sitting around and the 40 series cards went on a crazy sale, maybe I would upgrade and just do the old cycle rotate. You know, I'd upgrade to whatever 40 series card I could afford, pop it in here, take this card, pop it in my wife's PC, and then take hers and sell it, you know, do the cycle.
Witches don't attack humans.
Make an exception for you.
Duncan's dead. Letho, that wasn't all that impressive. But, so, Short of that, I'm probably not going to upgrade to the 40 series. What'll probably happen is I'll go however many series we have until games actually advance to the point where we need to upgrade again. Because I had the 3080 Ti. Can you get RT going at 60 FPS on this game? I don't know. I haven't tested it since they patched it on PC. I haven't tested it with the Ultra. I could pop it on and see what it looks like. Because no, I do not have a 4090, and I know that everyone was saying that you couldn't actually do the max settings on the updated Witcher 3 without a 4090. So right after we get out of this dialogue here, I'll pop it back on. I'll set the graphics up to max or whatever, turn it ray tracing on, and see what happens. I already got the front of my PC open, so I got max airflow. Hypermapping says, hey, Nico, remember the pals? They elected a girl as their new revolt leader for no reason. That's just simp behavior. Well, that's the reason. They're simping. They're trying to get some. It's school. That's what you do at school.
Time to see Vester.
Learning? That's not what it's about. Alright, let's, first of all, let's grab all this loot that we just got. Letho, you gotta...
Leave me alive! Have mercy!
Hey, buddy. Alright, now let's try that. Let's go... No, that's the wrong button. Let's go... Options. It's not settings in here. Probably video. Graphics. Alright, we are currently on... I think we're on just Ultra. So let's go to RT Ultra. Let's see what happens. It'll probably get all potatoey and choppy, but we'll see. Alright. Ooh, Geralt looks terrible. Oh, never mind. He looked fine. From the side, he looked like a potato for a second. Well, it's not nearly as bad as it was the first day, but I'm not sensing 60. Oh, did you see that blur? Oh, that looks so bad when I spin. Oh, that's bad. Okay, we're gonna switch that right away. Let's just try putting it on RT. All right. No, not display. Graphics. There we go. Let's switch it over to just RT. Let's see what it looks like there. Alright, that looks a little bit better. Still a little bit of a weird blur when I spin. I'm guessing my my FPS isn't very high. Can I turn on a counter for that? Options. Might be under gameplay. Probably not, though. I don't want easy. Normal. That was close. I almost screwed up my game. Video. HUD. Maybe that'll have an FPS thing. Objectives, minimap, rotate, Witcher senses, path undiscovered, display, nope, graphics, not seeing a FPS. But like I said, I'm not feeling a good 60. We'll leave it on RT, I guess, for the visuals or whatever. But it does look good. I'm not gonna lie about that. This looks pretty solid. But the FPS, the jankiness might get me. It's definitely playable. Whereas the first time, in the first day's stream when I tried it before they hit the patch, it was not playable. It was bad. The world does look pretty good. I'm not unimpressed by that. Plato23 says, do you think it's just a funny coincidence that the new features only work properly on the new 40 series? I don't know that it's a coincidence. It's probably just that's the hardware they had when they were working on it, you know? Because developers will usually buy whatever the absolute newest thing is, and that's what they'll develop a game on. Well, AAA developers. That's typically what they'll do. It's why most of your games that are multi-platform, so they're released for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, they'll perform usually best on PC because that's what they're developed on. You know, they're developed on whatever the top-tier PC crap is at the time. Return to Dolores. Oh, I'm still doing the House of Reardon. That's why I went to the wrong spot. That's funny. I have to finish this quick.
You've returned.
So yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it makes sense that they're only properly working on the 40 series. That's probably what CD Projekt Red was developing them on.
This means so much.
But like, so like I said, this is clearly, it looks really good on the setting and it's now playable, but I'm clearly not getting the solid 60 that I was when I just had it set to Ultra.
Time I was on my way.
Gods guide you.
Alright, now I should switch back over to, or switch over to the mission that I was trying to do with Letho. Alright, secondary quests. Ghost of the Past? Yeah, that's the one. I was wondering why Letho wasn't riding in next to me. Alright. Zeus says stable 30 FPS is better than volatile 60 to 140. Well, yeah, stable anything is best. But, like, I very rarely get anything less than 60 FPS on this build. Like I said, this game is clearly, with this update, is clearly an exception. Because typically, there isn't a game that I don't get stable 60 on. Unless it's really poorly optimized. Because like I said, it depends not just on the hardware, also the game. And it's not just the most impressive graphics or the biggest game or whatever. It's how well optimized it is, you know. Alrighty, says. Hypermapping says, the PAL members kept spreading rumors about how the PALs were saviors of the class as they gathered into a 90-man horde from almost all classes. The ex-PAL leaders are still members.
Hey!
Got company.
Okay, 34 says, how can stable 30 be better than 60 to 140 in any way?
Tell them to grab
I mean,
valuable, take you
if you... So it depends on the person,
give this to
you know, actually experiencing it. Because some people legitimately can't really tell the difference between 30 to 60 FPS. It totally depends on your eyes. But if you are hypersensitive to an FPS change, then if you are constantly zipping back and forth between 60, let's just use 60 to 140 as a frame of reference, sometimes you're getting way better, sometimes you're getting way worse, you're going to notice that change and it'll bother you. So for me, like I said, I have a build where I can usually run a stable 60 on pretty much everything. There are some games that I'll totally unlock it and I'll just let it go with a minimum of 60, you know? But, up to 120 regularly. But, a lot of games just lock at 60, so I just leave them there anyway. Ooh, 69mega.com. Tired of being alone? We'll help you. We got a sex bot in the chat. Wonder if any of my mods are in the chat. Can get that out of here.
Good to see you, alive and well.
Funny. Second time today I've heard that lie.
It is no lie. You will certainly fetch a higher bounty alive.
Really? How much?
Enough to buy me an estate in Kovir, where I will.
Okay, 34 says, the difference between 30 and 60 is night and day for me. I usually get stable 60. I lost it. On Series X, though. I've heard that the new Series PlayStation and Xbox have pretty much solid 60 on everything, even with high settings. But it makes sense because the hardware jump in the current gen of consoles from the last gen is huge. It was a huge hardware jump. Probably the biggest in any generation of consoles. I definitely preferred in 60. Once I got used to playing in 60 FPS, if I play a game where it's set to 30 FPS, I do notice it now. At least I think I do. But of course, I've got, like I said, my monitors have a refresh rate that's high enough that I can go up to 244, and I've got the right display cables so that I'm not bottlenecking that anywhere. Because a lot of people, they'll have it set to 120, but then they've got a 60 hertz monitor, and I'm like, oh, what's the difference, man?
Fucking dimwit. I hadn't time to
Hypermapping says, and then they propagated their PAL ideas while calling the Blue Army Pink Army as a sign of clear mockery. The Blue Army was at a lower side of the odds to come out on top as they were outnumbered. Checks out.
We have no quarrel with you, but one false move and...
And what?
You will end like him. What say you to that?
You go your way, I'll go mine.
Wise choice. Take his head, and we leave this god's forsaken place.
You're not taking anything.
LK34 says they say that older games aren't optimized for the new consoles, but even old games like GTA 4 feel very smooth. Even if they're not optimized for the new consoles still are going to play them better than the old ones. With very few exceptions. Because the tech is usually just better, like they improve upon most of the stuff, they don't actually change the way that it plays the game. So the more beefy your stuff is, the better it should play. Because, like, I'll play PS2 era games on my PC, and they play way better than they did on PS2. It's not even close. You know, so it makes sense that the Xbox Series X would feel that way with games like PS4. Redneck Zeus says, ever seen a big streamer complain about their FPS drop from 400 down to 340? Probably lose their match because of it. The kid who killed him is probably running at stable 30 FPS. I mean, it depends. So, streamers, and I don't say this ironically as someone who sometimes streams, typically are in the higher end of what they'll complain about. I think it just fits that type of personality. The audio will have a slight hiccup, or the FPS will drop, or something like that, and it'll be the biggest deal in the world. And I think a big part of that is definitely the personality there, the character that they're putting on, you know, for the audience. And part of that is also just the more you do something, the more small things will bother you. You know?
Could have told me.
Just in my experience. Experts and I don't want to call streamers experts. You know?
This amusing.
Because I've met a lot of gamers, like even that play competitive games, and they don't stream, but they're ridiculously good. You know, easily better than a lot of the people who put themselves out there on streaming and stuff. So, I don't want to call them experts, but definitely people who do things enough, I think, complain about small things more than people who do them less. So, hard to say. But I have seen streamers lose it after going down 50 FPS in the high 200s. And say that screwed up their game and that's why they died or whatever. Whereas, like I said on mine, I usually play everything at 60. Sometimes, for certain games, like if I'm playing competitive first-person shooters, I'll be using mouse and keyboard, and I will set it, I want it at least at 120. Just for that tiny little slight edge, you know?
I had to risk it.
But,
gotta say it's paid off.
Yeah, I don't know. I do prefer stable to erratically high. I think I agree with that. Hypermapping says, Pal diplomacy is only whining and revolting and protesting against their overlords as I deliver upon the Pals their propaganda mockery as their own embarrassment. Prince of the Blue Army. Jonas Golden Dick says, Happy New Year! I hope it's all been going good. Better for you than it's been for the rest. Yeah, no, I've been having a good New Year so far for what? 3 days of it so far? It's a great first 3 days. Hey, look at that. 69xxx.life says new adult dating chat free heart. Look at that. We got another sex bot in the chat. That's maybe a good omen for this chat. Maybe a bad one. I don't know. Jonas Golden Deck, how's your New Year been going? Any resolutions? And that's obviously an open question to anyone in the chat. In the spirit of full disclosure, I am not a New Year's resolution type guy for multiple reasons. One of which being, I don't find the New Year to be any more important for making a positive change in your life. If there's something you want to do positive, waiting until the New Year is an excuse not to do it. It's you know, people will do that. It'll be like, it'll be November and they'll be like, and they'll be eating like a pig and they'll be like, yeah, well, I'm gonna make a New Year's resolution to lose 25 pounds next year. And it's like an excuse not to do anything this year, and then they make it 2 weeks into the next year and they already have broken it. So I totally don't believe in New Year's resolutions. They're a foreign concept to me. I figure if there's anything serious enough that you actually have to change it, you should change it now. And don't tie it to a New Year's resolution, because maybe that used to be more meaningful, but nowadays everybody knows that people just break their New Year's resolutions. So, Hypermapping says Jonas's sus surname. Renex Zeus says, my resolution is to finally get my driver's license this year. It's a good goal to get your driver's license. I have to renew mine. It's actually going to expire in a couple months here on my birthday. And I think I have to actually bring in my birth certificate and social security card and everything this time, because I need to get that little star on it. So I almost forgot that. One of my cousins was showing, he's like, "Oh, my license expired," and suddenly I thought, I was like, crap, I haven't renewed my license for a while. I suddenly panicked because I was like, shit, if I forgot, I'm gonna have to redo the test and all that shit to get my license again. And I looked and I was like, whew, never mind. It expires this coming March. So yeah, I'll have to do that this year. I definitely recommend it, Zeus, without a license. I mean, you can still drive, but you know, if you get caught, you're gonna get in trouble. Alright, what do we got? What should we do? I could go to Mid-Cops and look for the witch, or I could do Fists of Fury Velen. That's always fun. Let's do Fists of Fury Velen. Jonas Golden Dick says, my resolution is to win that Mega Millions. Best of luck with that. I feel like maybe a lot of people have made that resolution. Personally, I think resolutions should be things that you have control over. So, personal actions, stuff like that. Hypermapping says Vlandians in November. Crazy D Entertainment says it is merely a continuing cycle, not a new one. Redneck Zoo says real ID BS. Yeah, it's the real ID, that's what it is. The little star on your driver's license. All I remember is that the last time I went and got mine, they were just introducing it. Last time I renewed my license, I should say. Actually, I don't know if I was there to renew. I might have just been updating my address. Like, I moved, and so I wanted a driver's license with my address on it. And, just paid the extra to get the new ID, you know? And so I think at that time, I had the option to get real ID, but I didn't have my birth certificate with me. And so I was like, yeah, whatever, just give me the normal one. And they were like, yeah, but by 2022 or whatever, or 2023, you have to have it if you want to fly any domestic flights. And I was like, well, that seems a bit heavy-handed, doesn't it? But, I haven't gotten around to it, with anything. But I will, like I said, I will this time. Because I have to go there to renew it, so I'm going to need to do it anyway. And, now that I've got it on my mind, I'll just make sure I bring the extra documents with me. So, I'm sure it'll also be a good reason for them to upcharge me. You know, I don't know. I haven't asked anyone yet if it was more expensive to get the real ID, but every time I've ever had to do anything related to the government and they change something, they also make it more expensive. Every time. You know, it's never, oh, we changed the way this thing works and now it's differently, and it's cheaper, and it's the same price. It's also always more expensive. Alright, here's our bookie. Should I beat my wench once a week, or oftener? I was gonna say, why is the bookie ignoring me? Hypermapic says, I go to Camp Half-Blood. Renexu says, they pushed it back to 2025, I think. I do remember hearing that they pushed it back, but I figured since I have to renew it now, and I won't have to for another, what, 6-8 years or whatever, that I will, I'll just do it this time. Jonas Golden Dick says, I always forget about my car plate renewal. I always running to Walgreens like a month late using the Easy tab to renew my tags. I just do mine online now. I used to, back in the last town I lived in, there was a gas station there where you could just go do it real quick. Like, it took no time at all. And I used to just go there for it every time, but now I just do it online. And get the tags in the mail, so... I have not forgotten it once. I've never let my registration lapse. My brother, I think, lets his lapse every single year, so he's always paying more to re-register his truck. I won that boxing match without even paying attention. Let's see if this guy's ending Gwent cards. No Gwent cards.
Thanks. Farewell.
Come on, let me out of here. There we go. Lay me down with a barrel of beer. See if we can fast travel closer. Aha, Black Bow. Yeah. I stop hordes of pals. I stop the hordes of pals, the blueprints. You have an interesting and somewhat strange school life, hypermapping. Where's our bookie?
Used to be wagon showed on market days.
There he is.
Will you join the tournament? Hey, I'll warn you. Jordan could be.
Yeah, he looks real fierce.
All right. Let's see just how fierce Jonah is.
Yeah, he doesn't look very fierce.
Feast your eyes on an epic clash between Jonah and the Drifter.
Yeah, there's no way this guy would look at Geralt and be cocky.
Poor folk.
Oh. I pressed the wrong button to counterattack. I was like, what the heck? Why didn't that work?
What? Lost your nerve?
Haha, that epic knee. No. That's the way to do it.
Drifters defeated Jonah. Could this be a new champion of Velen in the making?
Damn right.
Who can tell?
I'm the champion everywhere.
Be champion. Go to Crow's Purge and ask for the sergeant. And try your strength in Novigrad. The fight there too. Same in Skellige.
Alrighty, ready. Lato23 says game too easy. That could be. That could be. Hypermapping says a small pack of lions can defeat a horde of antelopes. Blue Army motto referring to the massive numerical advantage of the pals. I don't know that antelopes and lions often fight each other in the field. I'm pretty sure antelopes just run away. If I could think of some sort of a documented example of the antelopes using their numerical superiority to overthrow the lions, that would be a real interesting thing to watch. Lexi1397 popping in saying, hello everyone. Hello Lexi1397. Great to have you. You missed it, we had 2 sex bots already. Alright, where's our bookie?
Hold on.
Dual challenges.
There's the bookie.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Huh? Look who we have here!
Yeah, look. Set the bet to 80. Make us some money.
Let's start.
All right. Come to daddy.
Oof, come to daddy. A little creepy there, Sergeant. Ooh, he's a level 12. He's...
What? Lost your nerve?
Hello, based Lexi. Come on, Sergeant. He's got a pretty predictable attack pattern. Oh, I let him hit me. I guess I shouldn't have been so cocky. I like doing these fights with, like, Nilfgaardian plate gauntlets, because then I'm just imagining myself going into a boxing match with extremely heavy metal lobstered steel gauntlets to fight people with.
What a fight!
Yeah, it was, that was a fight, wasn't it?
The Witcher has defeated the sergeant and become champion of all.
Champion.
If you've not had your fill,
Sir Dave Zill says, well, hot damn!
places elsewhere.
That there's a Witcher.
Plenty of them
You're
in
correct, that
Novigrad.
is a Witcher.
Plenty.
Just in case anybody is wondering how we ended up having a Witcher stream today instead of a Kingdom Come Deliverance stream, I posted a channel members only poll on the YouTube channel earlier this morning, and out of the 7 channel members I have, and I know what you're thinking, 7? That's impressive. Out of the 7 I have, 4 of them voted, and 3 of them voted for The Witcher. So, that is the margin by which it was decided that I would play The Witcher 3 today. So, let that be. I don't plug channel members often enough as a way to support the channel, but that is just one of the perks. Whenever I pop up some sort of a poll to decide what I want, you know, what people want me to do, I like to do the channel members only polls because it's, you know, a way to reward people, give them a little or a lot of extra power for supporting the channel. And not a lot of channel members, so it's pretty easy to influence things in the way that you want them to go.
Got their asses whipped like a Novigrad whore.
Alright, what else do we have? Never mind, I already read that one. Hypermapping says, Dave back, and back with the Scourge. Dave is always here with the Scourge. I'm gonna pick some honeydew. Or whatever that was. What else do we have? I guess we could do Hunting a Witch. kind of like... I mean, hunting a witch is the lowest level thing I have. So yeah, let's do the main quest, hunting a witch. Dave Zill says, man, I gotta become a member soon. I could have been that one that gummed up that poll. That's what I'm saying, though, right? Because 4 people voted, 3 for The Witcher, 1 for Kingdom Come Deliverance. If, you know, 2 more people would have been voting and would have voted for KCD, it would have been some sort of a weird tie or whatever, you know? Like I said, it's just... It's, whenever I do a members-only poll... I have to feel sorry for the one that just had 1 more person on it, because it's almost democratic until you realize that there's not enough people to make it any sort of an accurate assessment of the people's will. So, yeah, I like it.
You some hair of the hound.
Went the wrong way.
Faster.
Ow!
Find the witch on your own or ask the residents. Keep your distance from the gossiping ladies so they don't see you eavesdropping. Am I, though? Mounted combat in this game is always a little weird. Like, look how slow Geralt swings his sword. That's what I always just do to people. I always use force push and take them off their horse. Hey! I just did dismember on 2 people at once. That was awesome. Got him. That was fun. What are they saying? Crazy D Entertainment says, a tie? No way. Hypermapping says, our blood flows blue, your blood flows in the river. Blue Man's story of crushing pal defeated along a river. We've got too many details for this hypermapping. Lexi1397 says, I freaking love both the games, though, so it wouldn't matter to me much. Well, that's the beauty of it. When I put up the poll, I was like, no matter what, you know, I love Kingdom Come Deliverance, I love The Witcher 3, so it wasn't like a bad decision for me. It's not like I was asking people if they wanted me to play a game I love or one that I absolutely hate. I don't want to give that much power away. But like I said, I like to do the members-only polls because it's not like I've got a bunch of channel merch or other stuff like that to give out to people that are constantly supporting the channel. But, that's one thing I can give out. Lexi apparently gets a kick out of Crazy D Entertainment's name. Renexu says, Witcher streams are good. I can pay more attention to the game I'm playing that way. I like it when you stream this, because I'm not that interested in it, so I can just play the game I want to play. It's probably not a direct translation to what you said, but it's kind of what it feels like. Let's, upgrade our gear. Or whatever, enhance our gear, that's what it is.
Never visited it myself. I've my elf, thank the gods. For the rest, well, she can't bake bread from stone either.
Oh, come on, this new one's not half bad. Sharp tongue on her, but she helps when there's a need.
Pretty close. What game are you playing, Zeus?
Besides, she got no wards.
Dave Zill says, I've had a pretty good solo run lately on GTA, never thought I'd have fun in that game again. Once you started being able to just do all of the multiplayers, like the stuff in solo lobbies, it was better then for me. Because then I actually started doing some of the other stuff. Lexi says, saying it without saying it. Oh, wink, oh, wink. I like the ladies. Oh, I'm supposed to ask. That's funny. I was looking at the wrong objective.
Back to the witch. Might cure him of laziness.
Greetings, ma'am.
Redneck Zeus and Dave Zilla are both playing GTA, but not together? That seems strange.
Got a matter for your village witch. Know where I can find her?
I don't bother with her myself. But ask my man. He'll know. Twerked his back so bad last week.
Twerked his back.
So I sent him to the witch. Came back sprightly as a foal.
He was twerking so hard he could barely move.
Yard, no doubt. Pain's gone, but sleuth's set in now.
Sleuth? I think she meant sloth.
To feed our young'uns. Marion's lad. Now that man, he knows how to provide for his family. Got some water rats last. They had food for days.
Imagine being so pathetic that in a place where it's not illegal to hunt or gather or fish or anything like that, you've got all these villagers starving to death.
Who told you that?
Yeah, like in real feudal society, in the medieval age, you had a lot of societies where it was you could do very little hunting and gathering, so it made sense to live in poverty and not have food. In the world of The Witcher, it's totally legal to hunt all sorts of animals in the woods, fish anything out of the streams and lakes, gather stuff. I mean, I would get it if they're afraid of going into the woods because there's, like, drowners and shit, and they're worried they're gonna get killed by the monsters or whatnot. But, like, the immersion gets broken for me. They've got these villages that are pretty peaceful. You know, there's not tons of monsters around them, comparatively, or whatever. And all these people are sitting here starving. I'm like, there's tons of food. You could go fish something, go kill a rabbit, eat that.
No need to worry. I'm not
Gather some mushrooms, you know? Grow some crops. Dave Zill says, I'm on New Gen Xbox if anyone is interested, LOL. If anybody on here is currently playing the Series X on Xbox, I think that's the New Gen, and wants to play Grand Theft Auto, Dave Zilla desperately wants to play it with you. Lato23 says, do you think the combat in Witcher 2 is better? So at the time, I was fine with the Witcher combats. I always thought they were a little janky, but I was fine with them. But now, after having played The Witcher 3, which just has a much more modern combat vibe to it, I definitely prefer the more modern feel. I think the old one is more quirky, and it made it more unique, but I don't think it was particularly better. I can see, like, a lot of people don't like The Witcher 3's combat, and I get it. It's simple. It's, you know, got a heavy and a light attack, and it's not really combo-based, and a lot of people don't like that. But I think it works in its simplicity. Some people might say elegant in its simplicity, because you can still come up with relatively good stuff, and different monsters and enemies have different patterns that they'll go through, so it does require a little bit of knowledge, and you can pair in the, you know, the signs to make it a little bit more dynamic. Like I said, my favorite one is Ard, but sometimes I'll use Quen if I'm fighting, like, larger monsters. I pretty rarely use Igni, but I've done playthroughs where I try to be as magical as possible. You know, I've done playthroughs where I use, like, absolutely no magic, and I'm just, like, sword and crossbow Geralt, and I'll use bombs, but that's it. But I've also done playthroughs where I try to put as much points and stuff into signs as possible, so that I'm like a fire mage. You can do it kind of, it's got enough wiggle room to make it real specific if you want it to be, but I don't hate The Witcher 3's combat. I always liked it.
Thank you, miss. 1,000 thanks.
Enough. I've had my fill for the
Crazy
day.
D Entertainment says, playing Battlefield 2042. That's fun. I haven't heard that it's very good, but I've played some of the older Battlefield games.
She's in a foul mood. We'd best come
Sir Dave Zilla says, I'm not that desperate. Lexi1397 reminded everyone, don't forget to like the stream. Redneck Zeus says, the Xbox Series, stupid naming scheme if you ask me. I agree. I think Xbox should have just stuck with a numbering system like all of the, like PlayStation did. I shouldn't say all the other ones. PlayStation is the main competitor. Obviously, Nintendo sells quite a few consoles, but they're not in the same market, you know. Nintendo's console sales are nowhere near Xbox or PlayStation, at least just on average. And even if they end up selling more consoles, because I know, like, the Switch is really, really popular, they don't make nearly as much money-wise. But they're kind of a different market entirely. The only sort of market for the average Nintendo sale is a very, very casual type of gamer. And so because of that, you just don't see the same amount of sales afterwards. So, like, even if you sell more consoles with the Nintendo, you're not going to sell more games, and you're certainly not going to sell more whatever, everything else, skins, DLC, microtransactions, all that sort of stuff. So Nintendo doesn't even compete, really. But PlayStation definitely got it right when they were just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, everyone can keep track of it. Whereas with the Xbox, not only do they have a different name that follows a different convention for every generation of console, but they also have a different code name for it when it's in development, and it's usually something cooler like the Xbox Scarlet or the Xbox Scorpion or something like that. People are like, hey, that sounds pretty cool. They're going to give this one some sort of a deadly stinging feature or whatever. And then it comes out and they're just like, we're calling this one the Xbox Extra X, or the Xbox, this time it's extra personal, or something like that, you know? They're not nearly as simple and therefore better as the PlayStation naming convention. In any case. Dave Zill says, my kids have me busy right now. That's fair. Crazy D Entertainment says, I have both Xboxes and I have both Xbox S and X series. Lido23 says, I liked that you could get hit while rolling on the floor and get one-shotted if hit in the back. I mean, yeah, stuff like that definitely makes it feel a little bit more realistic, because getting stabbed in the back with a sword is just kind of a death hit, you know, no matter what. Geralt in the books gets taken out by getting stabbed with a pitchfork, you know, so... Well, kind of, you know. I'm not going to spoil what happens, but, you know... It's not a black and white answer of what happens, but he gets stabbed in the back with a pitchfork. And so, like, clearly that means that if you stabbed him in the back with a sword, you know, that would probably be enough. Because Witchers, they're not superhuman. They've got probably better stamina and strength than the average person, but it's not a huge difference. And we see that all the time. The biggest thing they have is their, like, overall speed and reaction time. Oh, we're gonna have to skip this. I remember nudity.
I can assure you now more than ever.
That was close. Almost got demonetized again.
Never would have guessed it was King Foltest's former advisor.
I'm so pleased the world's still able to.
Dave Zilla says, Dave Zilla TX is the gamer tag. Crazy D Entertainment says, it's not good, lol. I've heard that about Battlefield 2042. I heard a lot of people were really excited for it. I didn't get around to playing it, just because I don't get around to playing most things. And then I saw all the reviews and I was like, oh, well, I'm glad I didn't buy it.
Now tell me what brings you here.
Redneck Zeus says, the Switch is the highest selling console of all time. All time, though? Because did it beat the PS2?
Who?
Because the ridiculously high ceiling of the PS2 was something that even the PS4 didn't beat, as far as I know, and the PS4 was ridiculously high selling. But that's why I corrected myself with the Nintendo, because I knew that the Switch sold a lot of consoles. But like I said, when you look at their overall revenue share, it's really small compared to Xbox and PlayStation. Because I don't think the Switch costs very much. I think it's a pretty cheap console as far as current gen consoles or whatever go. So, like I said, it in itself, one sale isn't equal to one $600 Xbox or PlayStation. And on top of that, like I said, they don't have nearly as high of game sales. And within the games, they don't have nearly as many secondary sales. So the overall market is dominated by Xbox and PlayStation. It's even like, so I'm a PC gamer. So I don't have as much skin in the fight as I used to for the console wars, you know? But so PC gets very little attention too, because
I'm not sure I can afford the information anymore.
You very rarely get people buying a whole new PC or building a whole new PC. They'll upgrade one part at a time, typically. Usually it's the GPU. Everything else will get neglected and the GPU just keeps getting upgraded.
Oh, sod it. Don't give me that look.
But PC gets very little attention for marketing too. Even when we get, like, so most games are released on PC. The biggest exception to that is PlayStation exclusives, which it takes us a couple years to get now. But like most Xbox stuff is released on PC, and pretty much everything else is, as long as it's not a PlayStation exclusive. But even with that, you don't see as much advertising for PC anything, because it's a small chunk of the total gaming sphere. Way more people that, like, if you were going to say gamers, there's just a lot more console gamers than PC gamers. And there's also a lot more console gamers than handheld gamers. People sell Switches, but, like, I think 3 of my siblings have Switches, but they don't game nearly as much as I do. All 3 of them together don't game as much as I do. At least not on their Switches. At least one of them also has a gaming PC and games on that. Probably more than she games on her Switch. So you get what I'm saying? Handheld gaming for me, the last handheld console I had, I think, was a Game Boy Advance. Because I don't think I ever even got the Game Boy DS. And by the time the PSP came out, I was like, that's stupid. I could just play it on a PS3. It's gonna look way better, perform way better. I don't need to game when I'm out in public. You know?
Let's go then.
So yeah.
Yes, let's.
Dylan Star says, The Witcher is very M-rated. It is pretty M-rated. Siraj Debnan says, I have purchased it today. What did you purchase? A PC or The Witcher 3?
This is the place.
Dylan Star says, Geralt of Rivia is a killer. That's true. Blood and Wine is my favorite DLC. Dylan Star, Blood and Wine is my favorite DLC too. Not just for The Witcher 3, for any game ever. The Blood and Wine is a really good DLC. First of all, it's game-sized. Blood and Wine is bigger than a lot of games that I've played. And I play a lot of games because I'm a YouTuber, you know, so it's not like I only play the biggest games, but Blood and Wine was huge. I remember there was a chest up here. Anyway, time to go into Sancrator or wherever the heck we're going. What else did he say? Lighto23 says the only thing that redeems PC gaming is pirating. That's just not true at all. PC gaming has a ton of advantages. One of which being, like I stated, I can play the vast majority of games that have ever been released. I can play them on PC. I've never pirated a game in my life, but I know that you definitely can. But it's just also really easy to get them for free or really cheap on a PC. So that's a huge advantage. Another one being just the general performance improvement for most things. If I'm running a very high-end PC, which I am, and I usually do, I can almost always outperform whatever the current gen console is. Because
I thought they didn't exist.
my hardware is much newer, and at any point in time I can upgrade it, whereas a console has to wait for the next generation to upgrade. So, performance-wise, I can get that. Now, mind you, sometimes you run into games that are specifically optimized for, like, a PlayStation, so I recently played 2018's God of War on my PC, and I noticed performance on it wasn't nearly as good as I remember it being on the PS4 Pro. But that's just because that, you know, the game was designed for that. And then it was just ported to PC. So when it's a PC port, you know, performance can be an issue. Anyway, on top of that, you have modding, which is incredibly fun. Anybody that hasn't tried modding games, especially games like Skyrim and Mountain Blade, stuff like that, you're missing out on most of the game. Shut up, Kiramets. Nobody cares about you. So no, I definitely disagree about the statement that PC gaming is inferior, and really anyway. I don't go around saying PC Master Race, at least not unironically. But I used to be a console gamer all the time, and it makes a lot more sense when you're a literal child and you don't have tons and tons of money to just throw around. Or if you're just an adult who doesn't have tons and tons of money to throw around on gaming, it makes sense to go for a console because you can play the vast majority of the big popular games that you're probably going to want to play. It's going to perform well enough, especially with the current generation of consoles, which are, like I said, significantly better than the previous generations. Competitiveness against PC-wise for their hardware. And it's simple. Plug and play. You plug it into your TV and you can play pretty much immediately. It takes way less dicking around and technical know-how. So I'm not someone who's like, no, console sucks, and anybody should always switch over to PC once you have the option. It's not for everybody. But when I switched over to PC gaming, like, because I still had a PlayStation when I built my first PC, the switch was immediate. I basically didn't play anything on PlayStation after I built my first PC. The only exception to that was I kept playing, because at the time I had a PS4 Pro, and I played Red Dead 2 on it because it wasn't out on PC. That's it. But once Red Dead 2 got added to PC, like you could get it on Steam, that was the last time I played a console. I haven't played one since. I take that back. I was visiting my brother-in-law, and he had a PS5, and we were playing Call of Duty together on his PS5. So I guess that counts, but until you've tried the Switch, you can't really actually make any sort of an objective statement about the quality between the two. I have played a ton on console for, you know, far more of my life than I've done on PC, and I definitely appreciate the Switch. Oh, beans. He dodged my Ard. I was about to gloat about it, too. Dylan Star says console gaming is better. PC Master Race are fools. I would agree that anyone who unironically says PC Master Race is being foolish. But, like I said, I definitely wouldn't agree that console gaming is better. I agree that console gaming is fine, and it's perfectly valid, and for a ton of people, it's going to be as much or more than they ever need. But, like I said, after having thoroughly experienced both, I far prefer PC gaming. It's not even close. Lexi says, I love PC more. I used to be a PlayStation person, lol. Same. Redneck Zoo says, I do love Nintendo. I mean, the first console I ever had, and then several successive consoles, were Nintendo, so I don't have anything, I guess, super negative to say about Nintendo. I guess I actually do have negative things to say about Nintendo. As a company, they're pretty anti-consumer, in the way that they won't let you, like, make videos about Nintendo stuff or anything like that. They will, like, if you even dare to make a video where a Nintendo game might be the topic, even if you're not showing the Nintendo game in question, they'll copyright strike your channel. Like, they're really aggressive in that way. So there's some anti-consumer stuff going on. Other than that, I don't have anything negative to say about Nintendo. I still like a lot of their mainline IPs like Donkey Kong, Mario, stuff like that. Zelda. Like, I haven't played Breath of the Wild, and I probably won't play the new one. It's not because they don't look interesting and I wouldn't play them, just because I don't have a Nintendo. You know. So that's why I never ended up playing Breath of the Wild. Everyone who I know that played it said they loved it. Oh, what else do we have? Dylan Star said PSP was cool. Like I said, I had friends with it, but I never had it. I moved away from I was never a mobile gamer, but I moved away from handheld gaming a long time ago. It just doesn't draw the attention for me. If I'm away from home, I'm doing something else. I'm not gaming, you know. And if I'm at home, I'm just going to play on my PC. I'm not going to play on a handheld game console, you know. So it just, like I said, I'm not the market for handheld gaming. I don't even have any games or anything like that on my phone. I think I have one game on my phone. It's like a word game. Oh, no, wait. I have a trivia game. I have a trivia game on my phone. I knew that bastard was... Stop that, you dick. There he is. Foglet, buddy. She's a little panicky. Yeah, I'm coming, lady. Alright. Crazy D Entertainment. Oh, wait. Dave Zill says, my wife has a Switch and never uses it. I play Skyrim on some road trips, but that's about it. Crazy D Entertainment says, I have most certainly never pirated games. I don't, like I said, I've never done it for multiple reasons. One of which being, there aren't enough games out there that I want to play that I can't afford. If there's a game out there that I want to play, I can afford it, because it's like 1 or 2 games every couple years actually piques my interest. The vast majority of games that come out, I take one look at them and I'm like, nope, not interested. You know. So, that's just my experience. So that's one reason I've never pirated any games. The other one being, I don't know how. You know? I've never pirated anything because I've never had the technical know-how to pirate anything. I know my brother said, he told me once that you can watch any movie that's ever been out, you can watch it online super easily. Like, you don't even need to download it and risk getting a bunch of viruses and malware on your computer, because you can just watch it online for free, using an extremely simple method. But I couldn't remember what he said. So I was like, it's not that important. Much like most games, most movies don't interest me either. I like how she's hiding from these rats that I can punch to death.
Disgusting.
There are a lot of them. I flamed that one. I like how the rats are biting me. It's like Pickle Rick. How many of these things are there going to be before she finally calms down? I'm assuming that's all of them.
Do you know the diseases they
Oh, that's what was happening. I have to destroy the nests. Okay.
Thank you.
You that afraid of rats?
Already said. Crazy D said, I will be switching over soon to PC.
Won't say anything.
I enjoyed the switch.
So what
Hypermapic
happened
says,
to you?
none of the blue coats are left
Something
alone,
here.
and the bridge cannot be
Something
aided.
distorts teleportation.
For the pale hordes
I've
are
no
piling up
idea
against
how
the
they
blue
managed
color
to
of the
get to the
bridge.
other side
Sounds like
from
you're
Well,
reading from Lord of the Rings.
teleportation magic is different. Got
Pals revolt, they
specially
chant,
trained
as the
mages
bridge
for that.
is about to
Navigators, they
burn.
call them.
They can have 3
For we are
hands
locked in
and
the
a
pal
power
propaganda
drive.
and
I'll not
mockery.
risk that
Sense of
again.
everyone asks, what is this
Let's go.
tomfoolery?
Well,
The
I've
pal
got a
horde
good
is
start.
scheming
I
like a
suppose
stack
still
of
stand a
hay,
chance.
but the blue prince arrives to save the
Completely
day.
mad. We
Crazy
must leave here
Day
at
D
once.
Entertainment says super easy. Well, they are rats, so it kind of makes sense that they're not that hard to fight.
But we came to find the elven
Hypermapic
mage,
says for
not
the class
fight
and its
hunt.
landlords.
If they reach him
Dave Zill
first,
says,
we
I'm
won't
about to
get a
pull
chance
apart a
to
pork
talk to
shoulder I
him.
smoked
Besides,
last night. The rest timer just
Go
went
on,
off.
Finish.
Pork.
Wait. You've got some special
Trying to think of
interest
something.
in the hunt. Is this about Ciri?
Damn, now I'm hungry again.
There's something
Before I started the stream today, I was working on I was getting some information recorded down for a video that I'm working on. For a Bannerlord video.
Sorry for Triss and you.
And I ran right up until like 10:10 working on that, and I was like, ugh. I was like, I gotta start my stream soon. And then I thought to myself, I'm like, damn, I'm really hungry. Not just like mildly hungry, really hungry, but I didn't have any time to get anything to eat. So, that's gonna be a pain in the butt for the rest of the stream. Because I definitely could eat. My wife's doing the old cycling through all of our food stuff, because we've got like, you know, our cupboards are not empty, you know, so we're working through some of our older food. And last night for dinner we had a weird hodgepodge of food. We had scalloped potatoes, mac and cheese, so 2 starches, which is fun, green beans, which is just a normal staple of meals for us, and some Polish kielbasa. And so like it was fine. It tasted good. I like all of those things. It definitely feels weird together, but I'm so hungry. I eat like 1 meal a day on average, and it's always dinner.
Come now. Aside from you,
Take the axe out and stop the pal hordes. My recommendation, hypermapping, is don't kill any of your schoolmates with an axe. Don't kill any of them with anything. You're gonna want to make sure you find a non-violent alternative. Maybe a poetry slam. Have you tried a poetry slam? That's usually the most non-violent alternative I can think of. You come like lightning with your white horse.
Do you think following
What's
this
that name?
advice?
Kaik? Am I saying that right? Kaik? Says, yo! After Red Dead, you play Witcher. You were like the best YouTuber on my subscribe list. Thank you. I just like playing fun games. It's fun, because they'll find my channel and they'll be like, it's crazy, you play all the games I like. And I was like, it's not that crazy. They're also the games I like. So, we just have similar tastes. It's like I said, that's the nice thing about my channel. If you subscribe to my channel, I can't guarantee that I'm constantly going to play the one game you subscribed for. But I only play games that I like. And so, if we both liked that one game, there's a good chance that you're also going to like the other games that I play.
I need instruction from you. I recognized the Vulpine morel immediately.
Vesemir told me that soon after he cast Igni, he tried it out on a patch of mushrooms.
Terrible idea. What happened?
Well, he survived. Wounds heal awfully quick on your archers.
Come on. I don't like it when it doesn't automatically draw my sword. Stupid gas. I want to loot those chests. Ouch. Crap, I'm gonna need some swallow now. Ah! Ah! That ain't good. Ah! Ah! That's another problem with switching back and forth between games. I lose track of my control mapping. Alright. Let's heal a little bit, Geralt.
Thought you were in a hurry.
Not in too big of a hurry to pick some mushrooms. You insane? Wanted to blow up that one. I'm not trying to attack her, she just keeps walking in front of me like an idiot. There we go. Alrighty, was there anything that way? I don't think so. We'll just go this way. Alrighty, what was else saying? Lexi1397 says, did you miss the question from Baron Sama? Baron Sama. I don't see anything on here from Baron Sama. So yes, I must have missed it. Pals cry out their revolt as they sent their homes. Dave Zill says, I think the online standalone of Red Dead still works on my PC. Just not anything else. If we need the Pocket Bossy to ride again. That's fair.
Seems we're headed the right way.
I still like Red Dead. I'm giving it a nice break. Basically, what I'm hoping is that Rockstar hasn't actually abandoned the best game they ever made permanently. I'm hoping that they intend to continue developing it at some point. So, I'm keeping that hope in mind with Red Dead, because I really don't want to be done with it. But, you know, I've played it a lot. I've got, like, just on PC, I've got 16 or 1700 hours of gameplay into Red Dead 2. Most of that being in the online mode, probably, but, you know, I've played the single player a lot, too. In any case. And I played between 300 and 500 hours of it on the PlayStation 4 before I played it on PC, so I've played the game a lot. So there's not a whole lot for me to experience in there unless they add some more. Crazy the Entertainment says he gets distracted. Well, you know, there's lots of chat going through and I'm playing a game, so sometimes I miss stuff.
Does he mean that sea monster?
The axe comes out, scaring the pals away. Again, hypermapping, I recommend not using the axe.
Good name for a horse.
Crazy the Entertainment says faction tier list. Yeah, I've definitely had a request or two for a faction tier list. And I definitely have enough information for it, because I remember what I have to do. I have to go down here. Whoop. Look at this little box. Yeah, I definitely have the information for a faction tier list because I've kept all of the stuff in spreadsheets that I've gotten for all my other videos. So it should be enough information for a faction tier list. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Right now I'm focusing on a couple conversion mods that I've been playing around with a lot. As you might be able to notice on the channel, currently the main area of focus is Realm of Thrones, the Game of Thrones conversion mod. And after that, I'll probably focus on Eagle Rising quite a bit, but,
Another horse. Almost exactly like the last one. Let's see what this does.
Geralt, I don't know what you did, but it worked. Come back here.
Okay.
Look, they're opening.
Nice.
Let's go. Well, now I know what distorted my effort at teleportation. This very portal. We must try to activate it.
I think that's a
Swallow.
It worked. Come. Of course.
Sturgia S tier, Vlandia F tier. Deserve places, Syndicate rest. I don't think so. You know my feelings about Vlandia. I don't hate Sturgia. I think a lot of people like hypermapping. I know you in particular have accused me of hating Sturgia. I don't hate Sturgia. I really like Sturgia. My three favorite factions in the game overall are Vlandia, Sturgia, and Britannia. Hey, Golem. Ah! That dodge didn't work. Oh, I gotta roll. That's what I have to do. Keep trying to dodge. I have to roll. There we go. Win, baby! Yeah, what are you gonna do? Apparently that. Got him. Lexi1397 says, I think GTA has had enough of their time. Yeah, I think so too.
That's so? Make sure and tell me
Every
before
pal
I
puts
next
down
time.
their chest as the Blue Army strikes from the east and west. I appreciate the 1080p 60 setting, otherwise I can't see you at all, lol. Crazy D Entertainment says, GTA stole 5 years of gaming from me, I won't get back. Yeah, not to mention, for a lot of people, also just hundreds and hundreds of dollars in microtransactions. That's the thing, like, a lot of games, yes, you don't ever have to buy a microtransaction. You know, that's the argument. They're like, you don't have to buy it, it's totally optional. Yes. But especially in an online multiplayer game, you're competing against other people, and some of them are going to buy lots of microtransactions. And a lot of the things you can purchase with them give you a serious competitive edge. And Grand Theft Auto Online certainly does. Because in Grand Theft Auto Online, you can get all sorts of crazy vehicles and upgrade businesses and all sorts of stuff like that to give you a crazy edge over everyone else. And so, not buying any microtransactions puts you at a serious disadvantage in a game like that. And so, it's predatory. They're designed to pull money out of you, and they work very good at that.
Not to worry. We'll get there.
Uh-oh.
Got that feeling again?
Ah! A Goyle! Damn, I hate Goyles. Ah! Poison! Damn, my roll didn't start early enough. She's not helping at all. Look at her back there, just standing in the corner. Ouch. I hate Goyles. Suck on that, dinkhole. Thanks for all the help, Kiramets. I remember next time you're screaming for help. There we go. We got all the extra stuff that I wanted. What did he say? Sir Dave Zill says, that's why I gave up on GTA for years. I hate microtransactions with a passion, but the solo lobbies have given me a reason to play. Like I said, it was a good change, and the reason they finally did it was because the player base was getting low enough that they were like, we'll give them what they want, and some people will come back and stuff like that, you know?
I have a feeling another golem's about to surprise us.
Because, yeah, it was the same thing for me. I actually, when they introduced the... It's not that they added solo lobbies. Solo lobbies were always there. It's just that you couldn't do most of the online stuff in a solo lobby. You had to be in a public lobby.
Look, we managed to cross the bridge.
So, I played it quite a bit when they changed that too, but I lose interest before too long with GTA. It's an old game and it plays like an old game. So, like, the combat in it sucks and is mostly just really boring.
Destroyed the major sentries. They didn't come here for a friendly chat with the elf.
Whoever thought they might have.
Graphics look incredibly dated, you know. Like I said, there's lots of reasons why GTA 4, or not 4, GTA 5 is over for me. You know, it's not like I couldn't still play it if I wanted to. Obviously, I have it on Steam, and I could load it up whenever I want, and it's not like I couldn't enjoy it. It's just, you know, I'd almost rather play pretty much anything else. Now the nightmare began and never ends. Crazy D Entertainment says, now that is a catchphrase, lol. Blue, blue, blue chants their mouth, waves a blue banner in their hands. Renix says, I started playing because I wanted a car that was only going to be available for a limited time. That's how they get you. They add it in their little limited time things that you definitely don't need. But, you know, you want it, because it's only limited, and then you start playing, and you start playing again for a couple months. Crazy the Entertainment says, I won't go back, I say. I hate fighting this guy, he's such a dink. Imagine being in this fight with, like, Triss or Yen instead of Kiramets. Because, like, Kiramets is capable of magic, but when you're with her on these missions, she never uses anything impressive, she's also kind of suckish. But then when you fight a Kaer Morhen, you see her just annihilate a ton of Wild Hunt soldiers with a huge lightning blast.
Ready. Stay close.
Yeah, I guess I'll stick with Ard. Crazy Entertainment says, I broke my first controller playing GTA 5. First controller I ever broke was playing Need for Speed Most Wanted on the PS5. Or PS5, PS2.
Want me to go?
I'll do it. Just cover me.
There was this one race, I can't remember which one it was, but it was this one annoying race that every single time I played through it, I would make it within like 2 seconds of winning the race, and then I'd run out of time. Over and over and over again. It didn't matter how many times I did the race. The reason was because, like, Most Wanted is probably my favorite Need for Speed game ever. And back in the PS2 games, back in the PS2 days, I actually played a lot of them. But the problem with it was it was definitely designed to make you grind. Because certain races, you just needed a much better car. And so you'd have to grind and grind and grind and grind and grind until you had enough money to actually get the things that you needed to win the next race. So, like, you know, it was a fun game, and I definitely liked it more than any other Need for Speed game. But it was the first game that I ever got so pissed while playing it that I twisted a controller in half. You know? Renexu says, only to find out later that the car will come drip back at the end of the drip feed. Too late now, I'm addicted. Yeah. Like I said, once they added the Cayo Perico heist in, that you could do it solo, because the best thing about GTA Online was always the heists. They were always the most fun thing in the game, you know. And mind you, Cayo Perico isn't as fun as most of them are, but it was one that you could actually do solo, and you could, you know, repeat it pretty quickly because it didn't require like super long setup missions that you had to have other players with. So it was finally something you could do solo. So that brought me back for a while. And I made quite a bit of money with that. And then I quit again. And then when they added in the fact, like, you could do basically anything in a solo lobby, that brought me back again. But, you know, played it for a couple weeks, maybe a month or so, off and on, and then I quit again. The modern cityscape setting doesn't draw me in. It's not my ideal setting for a game. In fact, it's probably not even in my... Well, it's definitely not in my top 5. I'd even take post-apocalyptic over regular modern cityscape. The pal hordes run away like little ants. The pals are defeated again. Rise to victory banner, but every blue lion's hands. By every blue lion's hands. Crazy the Entertainment says, I love Need for Speed.
What's wrong?
Like I said, I haven't played one since Most Wanted. I think that's the last one I played, but I played all of them up to that.
Great deal of power.
Just don't faint on me.
Now, in your firm embrace, not on your life.
Love to be able to say we could stay here a while and rest.
I know.
But we can't, because you suck and we gotta move on.
Go on.
No, back in those days, the PS2 days, obviously, my favorite PS2 game ever is definitely Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I love that game, and I played it a lot. Like, that's the first game that ever got me to spend nearly as much time in it. What else were my big PS2 games? Star Wars Battlefront 2, that game was lit. A bunch of Tom Clancy games. I played a lot of Tom Clancy games back in the PS2 days. Like I said, I played most of the Need for Speeds up until Most Wanted, and I played a lot of Most Wanted, but after that, stopped playing them. There was a game called Red Faction. It was kind of like Halo, I guess, but on PS2. That game was pretty fun. A lot of the... I think that was Tom Clancy, but the SOCOM, U.S. Navy SEALs. Kill Switch. Kill Switch was a pretty fun game. Ooh, of course, the movie tie-in Lord of the Rings games. Those were great. Return of the King, Two Towers. Those are a lot of fun. I think The Third Age was also a PS2 game. Played that one quite a bit.
Come now.
Yeah, never.
Ouch! Haha, I made it through. What you gonna do now, punk? What? Really? Oh good, it's just a foglet. That was another gargoyle. There we go. Cough, 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 cough. What does he say? Renix Zeus says, I wanted to get our little group together for races and stuff, but I think our group is a bit too small for the races I want to do. Yeah, probably. Well, and there's multiple problems. So, like, Noah either wouldn't be able to participate or it would be really hard because he doesn't live with me anymore. He lives at a different one of our houses, and that one does not have very good internet. So, Red Dead Online, but GTA Online would certainly be out of reach for him. Because, yeah. His internet sucks. But, I could play. My wife, I don't know if she has Grand Theft Auto. If we really wanted to do it bad enough, we could get it, and then there would be at least two of us. Bullet has
I shall help you.
Grand Theft Auto Online. I know that.
Tell me what to do.
I wonder how long you last.
Geralt, look! He's opening a passage.
Stay calm. Focus.
Ouch! Wish that would stop happening to me. I guess I should just go chop him. Ah, oh, beans! I almost got him. Ow! He teleported closer to me just to do that? Don't love that. Don't be a dick, Nithrall. Haha, suck on that. Got him. Distant Blue Man victory chanting, and then the song ends. Lexi1397 says, I used to play Need for Speed all the time on PS2. Samesies.
If I've my knickers on straight, this looks like the Elves' laboratory.
I can't possibly think of a time where Kira Metz would have her knickers on straight. They're either not on at all, you know what I mean, and either that or all scrunched up and disheveled. Not exactly the most prim and proper of the witches in the games. Jonas Goldendick says, I have GTA for Xbox. Look, I need the Eye of Nehelene, which I don't have. Zoom. Alrighty. I was like taking down all these little pillory things. I don't know that it does any sort of an advantage, but it's a destructible environment, and I enjoy that. Yeah, like I said, it's hard for me to list all the games I played on PS2 because, A, it's probably the console that I had and played for the longest, just because it was in the youth, you know? And I played... It's also definitely the generation that I tried the most games on. Because, like I said, nowadays... The vast majority of games that come out, I totally ignore. I just skip them. I don't even give them any attention. Because it has to be very specific for me to actually be into it, and I know that. But back in those days, I'd play almost anything. People would be like, hey, want to play Vigilantes 8? I'd be like, I haven't played 1 through 7. Will that make a difference? And they're like, nah. And I'm like, okay, sure. I'll play that.
Last we were together. Not much to go on.
Crazy Entertainment says, I have it. Jonas Goldendick says, Ratchet and Clank for PS2 will forever be engraved in my brain. I know Ratchet and Clank was big. I played a lot of Sly Cooper.
They searched everything. And if they have,
I was about to say Banjo-Kazooie, but I played that on Nintendo 64.
But that doesn't change the fact that we haven't learned anything. Not about the elf, not about Ciri.
No, like I said, back in those days, I played a lot of games. PS3, it was the generation that... So I bought the PS3 several years after it came out, so it's not like I had it right at the beginning. And... I you know, it was at that time where I bought it myself because my parents weren't going to buy it for me because it was obviously too expensive for them to ever be tricked or convinced into buying it. And so I bought it myself. That means I had to buy controllers, games, all that stuff for myself in that generation. And it was in the age of my youth where obviously I was too young to have any sort of a stable-ish job. I still worked and made money and stuff, but didn't have a full-time job. And also didn't have parents that wanted to buy me expensive stuff. So, I had less games in general, but I also sort of fell out of gaming during the PS3 generation. I spent much less time gaming until Skyrim, and then I played a lot of Skyrim, but not a whole lot of anything else in the PS3 generation. Other than that, it was first-person shooter games, you know, for the most part. It wasn't until the PS4 generation that I got back into gaming pretty hardcore and started doing it a lot, and like I said, now I have a PC.
Peaceful nights ever since.
How do I find them?
The swamps are vast, dangerous, but they say the crones mark the way for peasants who wish to visit them. The manuscript mentions a chapel in Crookback Bog.
Yawn.
Follow a trail of treats.
Treats.
Of course.
Treats.
They didn't read you bedtime stories at Kaer Morhen. All normal folk know that witches live in gingerbread houses poised atop chicken legs.
I'll have to see that to believe it.
The foundation of chicken legs is one of the most classic ways to build a house.
I truly do.
You got your cinder blocks, your field stone, your poured concrete, and your chicken legs.
Then. As a start, let's look for a way out of here.
Good idea.
How about everyone else? Excluding those of you who are currently in your youth. I mean, you can still answer, but, you know, the answer is just current-gen consoles. What was the console of your youth, you know? And I don't mean, like, what was the most popular thing when you were in your youth, but what was the console that was the one that you played the most when you were a youth? That's the way that I would phrase it. Because, like I said, the first console I ever personally owned was a Super Nintendo. The first one I ever played a decent amount of was the regular Nintendo Entertainment System. And I played that one a decent amount because I had, you know, relatives that had it, and so I would just play it at their house. Then I got a PS1, but only had it for a little while before because I bought that one for my cousin. Only played it for a little while before my dad made me give it back.
Strange. My medallion's trembling, but
and then I got a PS2, and so that was the next one I got, but I didn't get that until several years later. So the one of my adolescence/childhood, the one I played the most of, was PS2. The first one I ever personally owned, and I did play a lot of it, was the Super Nintendo. I did play that one quite a bit, but like I said, the one that defines most of what I would call my childhood, so like, can't remember when I got the PS2, probably like 5th grade maybe, is when I probably got it, so that through 7th or 8th grade, you know, real youth-like adolescence. That's when I did most of my childhood-type gaming. That was all PS2. My brother had an Xbox. He got that later, like the first Xbox, you know? And we played that quite a bit, a lot of multiplayer games, but I personally had the PlayStation. Crazy Entertainment says Super Nintendo. See, like I said, the Super Nintendo was the first one I ever personally owned, and I did play it a lot, but that was also when I was considerably younger. So, like, my daughter, now, my middle daughter, she's the most into gaming out of the three. I bought the NES Classic that Nintendo re-released, and so it's got, like, the preloaded games on it. I gave it to her because she loves playing it. So, that's kind of her first one. Damn, I should have swam underneath. I wasn't sure if that was the way out. So I didn't go down underneath.
Must be an exit that way.
That sucks.
Good. Let's get out of here.
Wait, there's still the magic lamp.
Redneck Zoo says PC.
Magic what now?
I guess that's fair. We had a Windows 95 computer, I think it was, and I played a lot of Oregon Trail on that. That was definitely the earliest gaming I ever did. Quote-unquote gaming. Point and click, you know, text, scroll adventures, that type of stuff. Lexi1397 says Crash Bandicoot, Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 on PS2. Frogger on the PS1. Crazy D Entertainment says Crash for life. Renixu says, if not PC, then Wii U. Wii U. I'm trying to remember how old Redneck Zeus is. Making it seem kind of young. I'm gonna go swim underneath that water over there and get whatever's hidden back there, because clearly that is not the way out. I will help you get... What? Crazy D Entertainment says custom Robo on GameCube. GameCube is where Nintendo lost me, because it was... I didn't have a Nintendo 64. My brother had a Nintendo 64. But we played it a lot.
Geralt!
Someone placed an illusion here.
Okay, good. So this is the way out. So yeah, I gotta go swim down in that underwater thing, even though she's yelling at me. Oh wait, I guess I could just do it later. I'll do it after I help her, so she stops yelling at me. But yeah, GameCube is where they lost... Nintendo lost everyone in my family. Because, I went to the PS2 after that, and my brother, who had the N64, he went to the Xbox. Alright, let's see what the riddle says.
Inscription here.
Show me.
Can you translate the inscription? I can decipher maybe a third, but that third doesn't make much sense.
Give me a minute. I was never any good at...
Jonas Golden Zig says, anyone else get their first computer from Aldi's or just me? I did not.
This might seem a bit literal. I'm afraid I can't replicate its sophisticated internal rhymes.
Just translate it to make sense.
4 guardians, 4 flames,
Standing proud in a line.
The first to light his fire dared not march on the end.
So it's one of the internal ones.
The second, by the first, played a woeful lament.
So he's going to have an instrument.
The third kept close to his faithful beast. The fourth marched not beside the first, yet, like the second, played a tune. And thus they stood o'er their...
Okay.
Alright,
let's see if I can remember it. So it's one of the internal ones. It's this one.
Lit up like a child.
That one's first, this one's second.
There it goes.
Alright, so no, I was wrong. I know the order now. Wraith, quit being a dick. Alright, I know it now. This one's first.
Seems we did something wrong.
This one's second.
Wait. Something just happened.
behind that wall, a movement.
This one's third. And this one's fourth. There we go. Riddle solved. Renixu says, old enough to vote, but not old enough to buy a handgun. So, 18, 19, or 20. Those are the middle years of adulthood. Because once you've hit 21, you know, you've achieved... Well, I mean, I guess 25 is when you can rent a car, 25 or 26. So, I guess that's the next stage. But 21 is where you can buy a handgun, drink alcohol, all that sort of crap. So, that's fair, Redneck Zeus. Jonas Goldendick says, Windows 98, I ruined that computer so hard with RuneScape. Jonas Goldendick, we got a similar childhood, it sounds like. My first computer... So it depends what you mean. The first one that I regularly used was my mom's computer, obviously, and it was Windows 95. Then we had a Windows 98, then she had a Windows Vista for a while. Then my dad, I think, got a Windows 7, because after that they were divorced, and then my mom had a Windows 7, I think. And then both of them upgraded to 8, I think. And whatever. But by that point, I was kind of checked out of the whole computer scene for the most part. Most of the, most of the PC gaming I did during that period was also RuneScape, though. And, I would play it at home when we could, but it was pretty rare to actually have any time where we could play on our computer. And so most of that time was spent going down to the public library, because you would enter your library card number, and then you got an hour of time that you could do anything you wanted on the library computers. And so it was hilarious. All the old people would get so pissed because they had 3 public computers at the library, and basically at all times because you had an hour a day that you could use, and it was timed, so it would automatically shut off after your hour was up. But you had an hour to do it, and so there was just all of the kids in town who didn't have a computer at home that they could play on would do it at the library, and so you had an hour of RuneScape time a day, and so all 3 of the computers would be used up, because the moment one person's hour got done, they had people wait, kids waiting in line to get on, and so then it would be another hour before they were done. I remember those days. Lexi1397 says her path was PS1, PS2, GameCube, Wii, PC, PS3, PS4, and then PS4 Pro. Wow, that's a lot of steps. Like I said, mine was Super Nintendo. For just ones that I personally owned, I should say. It's more simple than that. Because mine was Super Nintendo, PS1 briefly, but really short amount of time, PS2 for a long time, PS3, PS4, and then I did get a PS4 Pro, but I only ever played the one game on it, and then PC. But if you count systems that, like, my brother owned, because, like I said, we basically leapfrogged each other. They would buy, I would get one, and then, I wouldn't get the next one because I had just gotten that one, so then my brother got the next one. So it was, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 2, Xbox, and then after that it didn't matter because we were just buying our own systems. Our parents weren't buying them for us anymore. Crazy D Entertainment says, I honestly learned to drive from Cruising USA to the at the arcade. I had Cruising USA for the Nintendo 64. Played that game a lot. It's fun stuff. I loved the soundtrack, really was the big thing. The music for it was good music. Lexi1397 says, I'm turning 26 on the 13th. Oh yeah, that's coming up. 10 days. Exciting. Got anything planned? I'll be turning 27 in March. I don't have anything planned. I never do, though. I don't really ever do anything for my birthday. Typically, we'll have, like, cake, and I'll just... Sometimes someone will take me out to eat, because everyone always asks, what do you want for your birthday? And I'm always like, take me out to eat. That's it. I love going out to eat, and the only thing that makes going out to eat more fun is if you're not paying for it. Someone else is buying it for you. And so that's the best present for me. Take me out to eat. Show me a good time on the town. That's it. And obviously some people are like, I'll just give you a gift card. And I'm like, is my company so bad? Yes, the answer is yes, my company is bad. But that's typically my birthday. Like I said, I'll have cake with my family, and then hopefully people will take me out to a good meal, maybe some drinks, stuff like that. And that's it. I almost missed out on all that extremely high level and very important loot. I was going to take one of my daughters to one of my favorite restaurants here in town last Friday for a fish fry. And when we got there, it was extremely crowded. Now, mind you, this is probably the best restaurant in town. In my opinion, it definitely is. But there's competition between 2 other supper clubs for the quote-unquote best, and everyone will have their own personal opinion between the 3. But anyway, the one I like the best is the one that we headed towards, and it was incredibly crowded. Even for those that would argue it's not the best, everyone agrees that it's the most popular. But it was so crowded, so I was like, oh crap. So I called up, and they had just started their second seating, and they said it would be like 30 to 45 minutes before we'd be seated, and I was like, okay, well, I could maybe wait that long. I didn't want to, but I'm an adult. I could wait that long for a seating. No way my daughter was going to. She's 7, So then we checked a bar that I like because they've got good food and they were really crowded. So we ended up getting Mexican instead. But anyway, I was really looking forward to that fish fry.
In the end. Something important. Do you intend to venture into Crookback Bog? You must tell me about it.
Zeus says, I played a lot of the classics on the old consoles when I was 10 to 12 during summers spent at my older brother's house. Crazy D Entertainment says, mine were too many, I guess, LOL. Lexi1397 says, I didn't realize a whole year went by already. Yeah, it just keeps happening. Time just keeps passing. Jonas Goldendick says, in the school's computer lab, we would sneak in during lunch and there would be 10 of us playing and we could crash the whole school server. What, RuneScape? That must have been a weak server.
Stop by. You can be be sure.
Crazy D says, a whole year already? No way.
Waiting.
Lexi1397 says, I think I'm going to hang out with some friends at home, eat, play games, and mix some new drinks. I just recently had an at-home party like that for New Year's, and it was fun. I invited quite a few people over, but, you know, a lot of people had their own New Year's plans, and so we got maybe a third of the people we invited over, but it was definitely a good third. So, you know, when you invite people over to your house, or when you're sending out invites for a party, you've got all the people you think of first, and you send them the invites first, then you've got your second and third round, or whatever. Maybe it's just 2 rounds. But, you know, you like them all enough to invite them all to your party, but certain of them were higher priority just because they're more fun to hang out with, or, you know, they're more likely to show up, or whatever the case is. The ones who showed up to my party this time, I should save, were all of the first round picks, basically. One of them was really late, but, you know, that's just how it went. And it was a good time. We did that sort of stuff. We had food. Wasn't like a crazy spread, but we definitely had good tasting food and plenty of it for anybody that was hungry. And that's rule number 1 of parties, in my opinion, because I don't care who you are or what you're doing at the party. If you don't have any food, it's not a party. You gotta be able to eat. Otherwise, the party is going to run really, really short because people are eventually going to get hungry and they're going to need something to eat. So I'm always trying to instruct people, because you'll find certain people, they think they're really good at throwing parties. And they'll get tons of stuff to drink, and they'll have all sorts of activities planned, but their party only lasts a couple hours, then it's over because people leave when they get hungry. You know, people need to eat. So you have to have food at a party. You also have to have drinks, and if it's an adult party, you should certainly have a good variety of alcoholic drinks that people actually like. You know, don't just buy like 230 cases of Busch Light and hope that that does it for everyone. And at my parties, it's typically like an open bar scenario. So drinks is always good, alcoholic drinks. You also have to have non-alcoholic drinks, because even people who like drinking alcohol don't want to just drink alcohol all the time. They're gonna maybe want an intermezzo where they just have a Coke or something in between, or maybe they just want to make sure they don't get sick, so they want to stay hydrated. So you should have water or tea or something like that. So now throwing a good party requires a little bit more thought than a lot of people think it does. You should have activities, but they should never be too distracting. You know, like, not everybody is going to want to do your one guided activity. Not everyone's going to want to play trivia or whatever, or watch a movie or whatever. Engage in your poker tournament, whatever the case may be. Not everybody's going to want to, so you should make sure that that's not the thing that everyone has to do, otherwise they can't possibly enjoy themselves. I'm going to go away and meditate, because I have no swallow left, and otherwise I'm going to die. But yeah, sounds like a fun time, Lexi1397. Let's see if I can craft, because I feel like I've been picking up recipes. Well, I still don't. Okay, so I've got some bomb recipes here. Alcohol, don't care about that. Oil. I can craft 3 of these oils. Look at that. We're getting up on oils. Alright, potions. I can do golden oil. And I'd be able to do enhanced if I had one more monster or light essence. That's what that is. But I can do enhanced tawny owl. So we're getting stuff. We're making it there. Ooh, we've got quite a bit of loot too. All right, so let's meditate. Was that a noon wraith? So let's keep it nighttime when they're weaker. But now I actually have some stuff. Hopefully I don't have to kill all the wraiths again just to kill the noon wraith. We're gonna switch over to Yurden. And let's add some oil to our blade. Oh no, not in inventory is what we want. Oil. So enhanced cursed oil, hanged man, insectoid, spectre oil is what we want. Dang, I don't have enhanced, but that's okay. That should do us. Alright. Renix Zeus says, Nintendo DS, Wii, PS2, Wii U, PS3, Xbox One, PC was the order of consoles I had myself. Lexi says, I have a decent selection of booze here. It's always good to have a decent selection of booze. Patrick Brooks says, I'm currently finding the School of the Bears diagram. Ooh, very fun. Going after the Ursine armor, eh? Sir Dave Zill says, I'm still in, just busy. Okay. Lexi says, LMAO, yep, I have like 2 people that I actually like hanging out with. Redneck Zeus says, Thoughtbot is here. Yep, we do have yet another Sexbot in the chat. That's the third one for today's stream. Oh, damn, it is a Night Wraith. Well, that's okay. Hey, we got several hits on it in the Yrden circle. Come on, buddy. Come on over here. Come on, buddy. Come back in Yrden. Oh, we got her! Damn right. I hate fighting Wraiths. They're always my least favorite. Like I said, once you get the bomb that kind of locks them into the real world until, you know, it wears off, which takes a considerably long amount of time. Once you get them, then the Wraiths aren't nearly as bad. But when you're working with Yrden, nah. I don't love it. Hey, look! We got the Queebirth formula. Nice. Alright, now we'll save again. Because I don't want to have to redo that. Alrighty, what else do we got? Lexi1397 says, I think I'm going to make tacos/burritos with Spanish rice. Ooh, nice. I also have some light snacks as well. Chips and dip, cookies, salami and cheese platter, etc. Very nice. Come to think of it, if anyone in my house is listening to this stream, if we've got those leftover cheese with the meat wrapped around it from my New Year's party, could someone bring that upstairs for me? I need to snack on something. I want to keep streaming. I was planning on doing a longer stream today, but I need to eat something. So if we got the cheese with the meat, if someone could bring that up to me on a plate, whatever's left from that snack platter, that would be great. Also a Pepsi. All right. We do? I don't see it. LOL. Crazy D Entertainment says, "Yep, now I'm hungry. Turn on live chat." Alexi1397 says, "I have it on and I can't see it." Renexu says, "I didn't eat breakfast today." You can feel it, right? Yeah, I didn't eat breakfast either. Like I was saying, I typically only eat one meal a day, and it's dinner. Like, it's not because I don't want to or whatever, I can't eat more than that. It's just, I almost never do, you know. I blame no one but myself. Search for Witcher George's grave. I could do the Griffin hunt. 1,500 units of measurement. Where am I?
Faster.
Crazy D Entertainment says, "You're hilarious." Jonas Golden Dick says, "No Coke, Pepsi." No, typically there's at least one person in my household watching my stream that just stays silent because they're lurking. But that's how I sometimes get messages out for things that I need. I'll be... Oh wait, I should check the map, because if that's over in the Novigrad territory... Ugh, it's not, it's just way over there. Well, for now we're gonna go to... For now we'll head over there and fast travel from there. But yeah. So, there's a chance someone in the house heard me and is going to bring me my mozzarella wrapped in meat. Rendick Zoo says, "Is dinner supper or is dinner lunch?" This is a major debate where I'm from. So, it's also a debate where I'm from. It totally depends. The difference here is the fact that in the English tradition, I think you call lunch dinner and what I would call dinner supper. But I think it was in the more, you know, continental European areas like German, which is where my family's background is primarily from. Lunch is lunch, or midday meal or whatever, and the last meal of the day, the latest meal of the day, is dinner. And so when I say dinner, I mean the late meal in the day, the one that typically is like 5 or 6 p.m. Lunch is 11 to noon, sometimes like 1 o'clock for a late lunch or whatever. Yeah, no. It's a debate everywhere, Zeus, because America is just full of all sorts of different languages and cultures and everything. But, no, I call it dinner. other people call it supper. But I've met people in Wisconsin, other ones, who do call lunch dinner. It's just much less common. So, you know, for me here, it's always been used as some people will say supper, some people will say dinner. They both mean the same thing. It mostly just comes down to, like, I guess how fancy your family was or whatever. That's typically the difference you'll see around here for it. It'll come down to, crap, Igni is what I wanted. I love fighting Leshens, it's so much fun. It's also really fun to switch back and forth between your steel and silver sword, because you're fighting a Leshen, which requires a silver sword for some reason, even though it's a tree. But then, the wolves require a steel sword. Gotta light them on fire. That's the thing with Leshens. As long as you can get a couple strikes on them to get them lit on fire, they'll keep taking decent damage. So even this one, which is, you know, 10 levels higher than me, I'm managing. Yeah, we got him. Alright. Crazy D Entertainment says lurking is the best strategy. I mean, I prefer to interact with the chat. Definitely keeps the stream going longer because, back when I first started streaming on YouTube, I definitely got even less viewers and live chatters than I currently have, which by most streamers' metrics would be very little. I like it because it keeps me busy enough, but it's still small enough that I can actually interact with everyone. But, anyway, back when I first started streaming and doing stuff like that, I'd have 1 or 2 live, you know, people who actually would interact, and maybe like 5 to 7 viewers total, and most of them would lurk. And so then after an hour or two, and barely any chatting and very little communication, I'd be like, well, seems like the stream's pretty much dead, and I'd quit. And then people would be like, why'd you quit? I was enjoying it. I was like, you're lurking. From my perspective, there's no one to talk to. It didn't seem like everyone was all that engaged, so, you know. So lurking works when you have enough people there to actually keep the chat active, but it doesn't work if you want the stream to keep going,
I want to look around,
you know.
some.
Anyway. Dave Zill says, we are a breakfast, lunch, and dinner household. Yeah, same here. I mean, those are the names that we use. I don't eat all three. Typically, I don't get breakfast unless I specifically cook breakfast, because it's not like anybody else is going to make it for me. My wife works part-time in the morning, and so that's literally the time that she's gone. And, so it's not like she could make me breakfast. So the only time I ever eat breakfast is on weekends when I actually decide that I'm going to all-out cook breakfast. After that, it's pretty rare for us to have lunch, if I'm being honest. Or at least me. Like, I don't get lunch. Even if everybody else in the house gets lunch, I still won't get it for some reason. A lot of wraiths in this cave. Alrighty. Lots of stuff going on in here. But yes, as for names go, Davezilla, same. We're also a breakfast, lunch, and dinner household. Yeah, I'll be... People will be like, why are you so crabby or whatever? It'll be late in the day or whatnot. And like I said, I typically only eat 1 meal a day, and it's dinner. If I don't get dinner, and especially if I don't get it 6 at the latest, it's better to have it around 4 or 5, considering it's the only meal that I eat in the day. If I don't get it, I will get crabby, because that means that I haven't eaten anything since 6 o'clock the day before, you know? And so I'll get a little testy. I try not to, because I like to try and cultivate a mood of general diffidence to when I'm in a upset mood or whatever. I don't like to let things like being tired and hungry affect me too much, and try to stay level, but obviously, you know, it doesn't always work. being a dick, Wraith. Alrighty. Crazy D Entertainment says, I normally skip meals. I'm gonna die! I'm gonna die! Ooh, that was close. Thank you. I almost died there. That was not cool. Alright, I'm gonna let Geralt heal a little bit here. I used up all my swallow. I got my snacks. See? These little things. They're mozzarella. This one is wrapped in salami. This one is wrapped in pepperoni. And this one is wrapped in that Italian ham, prosciutto. There, I'm finally eating on stream like everybody always wanted. That's an interesting taste. Redneck Zeus says, I don't like cooking much, so if my dad doesn't cook, I don't eat. But he's also a terrible cook, so I still don't eat much. Crazy Entertainment says, finally! I know, like I said, what everybody's been waiting for. To be able to watch me eat something on stream. Probably should have stopped and sold some of this stuff. I can pretty much guarantee I'm going to be overburdened before too long. Oh, an Ekimara! Fun! Seem to you like it's not taking a whole lot of damage? Oh, we got it. Definitely not Estonian gamers in here, and he says, no, I missed. Hello, Nico. I'm sad. I missed Big Chat. You missed Big Chat? I mean, you're here. I'm not done streaming yet. Hey, there's our diagrams. Well, we got our first diagrams for Witcher gear. Redneck Zeus says, Crazy D said, no, he just got his food. Yeah, I got my food, so I'm good to go. Redneck Zeus says, you've eaten on stream before, not your stream, Noah's stream. I think I remember that, Zeus. I think I remember that. I was, like, munching on something in the background the whole time, being really distracting. I think I remember that. There we go. A little bit lighter in here. I want to save. I don't want to have to fight all those things again. Yummy. Definitely not Estonian Gamer says, big time, much chat I missed. Let's go and won't end yet. No, don't worry, Estonian Gamer. I'm not ending the stream. Hey, it's a good thing I did this after the last one, so I could do the Eye of Nehelene. Lexi says, yeah, back in the day when Noah streamed. Yeah, it's been a while since he streamed. Starting Gamer says, Nico, have you heard of George Otts? George Otts. I don't know. The name rings a bell, but I can't call anything to mind. Redneck Zeus says, I think it was in the 7-day stream. That could be, and it would make sense that you would remember that, Zeus, since you streamed those ones with us. Hey, look at this, a red horse. I feel like I'm gonna get attacked by a wyvern or something. Alright, where's the signpost? I need to get myself back to the... He is a musician? Was? Yeah, it's possible. It's possible I've heard of him. Estonian musician. It's less likely that I've heard of him if he's Estonian, but if he was world famous, then it's possible that I've heard of him. If he was regional, probably not. Big time chat, more to come. Yes, Crazy D Entertainment is correct. Big time chat, more to come. I am, I have been supplied with food, so I don't need to end my stream because I was getting ravenously hungry. Now I just need to find a way to eat the food on stream without turning it into a stream of people watching me eat, which could probably be less than appetizing for most people, and also not get too many burps coming out. Made fire classical music in the 30s, 40s, 50s. He was famous, worldwide famous. ASMR. No, it's possible I've heard his stuff then. Like I said, the name sounds vaguely familiar, and you say classical music. Obviously, it would be Renaissance classical, because if it wasn't composed during the classical period, then it's technically not actually classical music, even if it's in the instrumental orchestral style. But I get what you mean. I've listened to lots of music like that, and I like it. So it's possible I've listened to his music. Crazy D Entertainment says the dilemma you're in. I know, like I said, because I've got like, and aside from the meat, the cheese wrapped in meat, I've also just got other, like, pepperoni and salami.
You mastered a trade. Keeps the hunger at bay. How may I assist you?
Maybe I should wait for cutscenes to eat. I'm not like a... Maugrim. Silver sword. I think I'm just gonna sell everything. I can't sell the bolts, of course. Alrighty, what else do we got? Well, we can sell some of the stuff to the general store guy. Roach. I just want to make sure that I'm not getting overburdened because I hate having to crawl everywhere. I will buy that shirt, though, because we're going to craft our first griffin gear. I hate having the little stars. Crazy D Entertainment says ASMR, please. Yeah, I don't know how to do ASMR. I don't know if it's like a specific technique or it's just sounds. Like if I just tap on the mic. I don't know. It's not my thing. Make as much mouth noises to really make sure we throw up. Yeah, see, I don't want to do that. Maybe you heard of Motus Klaus or Contemplation or something. It's possible. What I'll probably do is I'll probably just look him up afterwards. After the stream. Alright, let's get to crafting, though. Griffin boots. Look at that. We got the boots. Chest armor. Griffin armor. We got the armor part. Gauntlets. Got the gauntlets. I think we're going to have all the crafting stuff we need. Trousers. Hey, we could make enhanced Griffin trousers. Of course, we wouldn't be able to wear them then. What level am I? I'm 11, so these are going to be the right level for where I'm at.
So long.
That's it. I can send some links to the music. Yeah, if you, I would say just send one link to whatever you consider to be his best song on Discord. If you spam too many, I probably won't watch them just out of like, there's too many, I don't want to decide. Oh yeah, these all have better stuff, so let's pop those on. Ooh, look at that, I look like a witcher. We'll sell our other stuff here. Not the Nilfgaardian stuff, I'll keep it. I'm a collector. I look so basic now. That's the only thing about the Witcher stuff. Until you really get it, like, leveled up, it looks so basic. Sell this water since, you know, don't really need it. Raw meat, too. Things that make you drunk. What's this? Potion from Tyrnalia. Okay, keep that. We'll get rid of all this stuff. Get ourselves some money, you know? I like having some money saved up in the game. That way when I go to Novigrad, I get approached by the tax guy.
See ya.
Lexi1397 says, I'm just eating Tostitos and salsa. It's a good meal. Let's go drop our Nilfgaardian armor off in our stash. We'll meditate for an hour to get ourselves, you know, back up to fighting form, and then we'll start another mission. Alright. Ooh, I have another armor that's level 11, but it's not as good as what I'm wearing. We're gonna... I want to try it, though. Because that's the new stuff from the game. So let's grab the white tiger stuff. Is it this? White tiger... White tiger... White tiger. Okay, and then we're gonna... Oh, didn't need all of them, but... Alright. Let's get our stuffs ready. I wish I had cheese and various preserved meats on hand. I know, like I said, it's, ooh, and a pickle. Look, a pickle. Mmm, yummy. Lexi1397 says, it just so happens that it's tequila salsa. Fun. Alright, as much as I like the Witcher gear, we're going to try on the new stuff and wear it because it's new, and I've never had it before. Ooh, that looks goofy. Too late, I committed to it. Are the swords katanas? Ah, they're both katanas. What a weeb. Alright, let's put the Griffin stuff away. I'm gonna be playing like a real weeb today. Let's get our let's get some stuff slotted on these. I like using these because that way I don't have to worry about them becoming broken. Alright, Ard, we'll put that up here and down here. And then our last one, we'll Quen it. I don't like that, Alright, we've got the swords in. Attack power, we'll put one of those in each one. Burning, bleeding, armor piercing, we of course want that. And then we'll do burning for our silver sword, bleeding for our steel sword. There we go. Let's put all this stuff back. Alright, we're ready to go with our super weeby white dragon whatever armor and weapons. Oh man. They look so weebish. That's okay. I'll get used to it. I'm gonna eat an almond. Yeah, Estonian Gamer, I'll check it out. If you send, like I said, if you send the link in the music channel of my Discord channel, I'll check it out after the stream. Estonian Gamer says, I wish I had preserved moose in stone hard form at hand. Me too. Pizza rolls with Parmesan cheese, air fried. That sounds good. With butter. I enjoyed the crunchiness of that pickle, lol. I know. I think they're Milwaukee brand pickles. They're so good. I have been studying nuclear power and radioactivity lately. That's a good study for someone living in Estonia. Lexi1397 says it was oddly satisfying. Headphones are a must. Indeed it was, Lexi. Oddly enough, yes. So you guys must all like ASMR. Here, I'll crunch an almond. Let's see if you get the same effect from the almond. Here is an almond. It's weird. I don't know. Oh wait, I didn't meditate. A cracker. Makes me feel uncomfortable doing ASMR, guys. Lexi1397 says, not quiet, and definitely not Estonian Gamer says, yes, Nico, more crunch noises. Making me feel uncomfortable, guys. Alright, what else do we have? Can I craft anything else? Alchemy-wise? I can make a bomb! Dragon's Dream. Cool, cool, cool. Release a cloud of gas. Oh yeah, I almost never use that one. Dimeritium bomb. Release a cloud of dimeritium silvers that block magic and monsters' magic abilities. The silver dust one is the one I need. But I can make a Wraith decoction. Says, Crazy Entertainment says, yes, that almond was perfect. Lexi1397 says, the crunch is what gets me going. Renex Zeus says, I'm making pizza rolls now. I forgot I had them. Dave Zill says, the pickle was better than the almond. Look at me, I'm Pickle Rick. I recently started watching Rick and Morty. Alright, let's go get the rest of our Witcher gear, I guess. Man, if only we had a samurai helmet, then we'd be full on weeb. Alright, time for another pickle. You guys seen this pickle? Here is the pickle. Alright, I chewed up a pickle real slow and really close to the mic. Damn, pickles are good. It's good eats. Let's go, pickle. Lexi1397 says that's a wild show. Rick and Morty? Yeah, it's wild. I definitely have been enjoying it a lot. Like, it's quite funny, but yeah, it is definitely very, very wild. Alright. You can fast travel to Heatherton, or the Isolated Shack. They're both relatively close. Not once, but twice. The NPC did not like that. I demand more pickle crunch. Estonian Gamer, I can't burn through them too fast. I only have 2 more pickles left. My afternoon snack platter is, it's not large. Like, I mean, it's a large platter, but it's made up of a variety of things. So on this platter, I can show you. I've got, let's see if you can see. Am I getting glitchy? I feel like my stream's getting glitchy. I'm gonna set her back down to regular so I'm not burning up my computer just in case. I don't want to crash the stream. I'll set her down to just ultra.
Come on, Roach.
See more fluid now? Yeah, it looks a little bit more fluid. Alright. This is my snack platter. So on here, we've got a couple crackers that came with the salami and pepperoni, and with that we've got some cheddar. Then we've got a small pile of almonds, the pickles, which you've already seen, and I've got 2 of those little mozzarellas wrapped in meat now. Estonian Gamer says, bro, you lagging. Yeah, I saw that. That's why I switched it over, so I should be better now. Hey, we had a sexbot chat that just typed in IEU. Estonian Gamer says you have to whisper before you eat anything. Yes, that slow chew was crunchy. Well, it would be, if I was going to do dedicated ASMR, I probably wouldn't do it with a game in the background. I would probably have to do it real quiet, you know? And then, yeah, I'd just whisper and be like, alright, and now I'm going to crunch on some extremely crunchy pickles. It was the ASMR. That's what caused me to lag, or that's what got the sex bots in? I know that we suddenly dropped down to 9 viewers. Maybe somebody doesn't like the ASMR. Almond. But what we are going to do is we're going to ride our horsey, and we're going to follow our quest marker. Definitely not a Estonian Gamer. I don't want to dedicate myself to the ASMR bit. Makes me feel slightly uncomfortable. And since I started doing it, I lost half the stream, half the viewers on the stream. Ah! Harpies! Come on, harpies. Nice thing about these weeby katanas is they're nice and long. They make good harpy killing weapons. Is that all of them? Look at that, we did it. Says they ain't real DTG fans. Not real enough to watch ASMR. They were like, hey, cool, a gaming channel that's playing a video game. Maybe it will be a gaming stream. And then they get on and I'm like, I'm about to eat a pickle. Crunch. And they're like, nah, don't want that. Not what I wanted to watch. The ones that left went to get food. That's funny. Lexi says, LOL 8. Yeah, now I'm down to 8 viewers. Sir Dave Zill says, I'm making a pulled pork taco as we speak. That sounds good. Come on, horsey, turn around. Let's put away our weeb sword.
That's it, Roach.
I don't hate the weeb armor and swords. They're not bad. They definitely add a variety. I definitely prefer the regular style, the more European style that the game typically has, but I don't hate this. I'll wear it while I'm an appropriate level for it. Because like I said, the reason I wanted to wear it over the Griffin gear, even though it has worse stats, is because it's new. We will watch you do anything, Nico. We are your real fans. I prefer to call you viewers, not fans. Fans makes it seem a little pretentious. Probably should have saved. Oh, good, I didn't die. I jumped off there and I was like, there's a chance I hit a rock when I land down there and I die. Anything. Well, if you want to watch me do anything, you gotta go to my P-Hub channel. Giggity. What? Ah, a drowner! A second drowner! Alright. Where is our cave entrance? There is our cave entrance. I don't like that if you press the button twice because you want to reload it, it automatically has to shoot the second shot. A lot of drowners down here. There we go. Stop shooting. I want to swim now. Call us anything, Nico. We won't mind. I think I'll stick with viewers then. Redneck Zoo said, I had to stop playing GTA. Chatting while driving was causing issues for me. When I first read that, Zeus, I thought you meant you were playing GTA while chatting on the stream and also driving a car in real life. I was like, yeah, that does sound pretty dangerous, Zeus. Lexi1397 says, nothing is stupid. Oh, nothing is stupid. I saw the giggity. I saw it. The important thing to do when you get here, after you've swam through the little underwater cave thingy, is to get up to ground level, which should be this level, maybe? Yeah, this looks like ground level. And lower the drawbridge. So if you ever have to come over here again, which for some reason I seem to remember being a thing, you can just walk across the bridge. Sony Gamer says, man, GTA RP is fire. Bullet 315 says, I come back and just hear my P-Hub channel. Well, I was gonna say the full thing, you know, but then I was like, that might get me demonetized. Not that it really matters. The streams don't really get that many views, so it's not like I make that much money off them anyway. Which is why I play games like The Witcher 3, which are a little bit risky anyway. Because it doesn't really make that big of a difference. I mean, it would be bad if I did something bad enough to get, like, a community strike or something. So I gotta make sure I'm not too risque. Because I don't want my channel getting taken down. But the stream itself being demonetized doesn't make that big of a difference. I just like to keep the channel family-friendly and clean. So that way, when YouTube makes one of their big sweeping changes that affects tons and tons of channels, my channel is not one of the ones that's on their radar. Because the content I make is not... It's not adult only. Like, every one of my videos is marked not for children because, you know, they're... I play good games, so they're not kids' games. But, you know, it's different. Bullets timing, yeah. Stoning Gamer says, I wanted to start a cult on New Year's, but I was stabbed 16 times in the chest. Yeah, that usually will reduce your ability to effectively run a cult. That's too many times to be stabbed. If it would have been 14 or maybe even 15, I still would have said, okay, start the cult. But yeah, 16 is just too many. I didn't find the thing I was looking for. Oh, you know what? It's because I didn't climb this ladder. That's why I was like, I was pretty sure it's out here, but yeah. It's not the main ways going up, it's the one that is deceptively easy to miss. Come on, you. Lexi1397 says, your channel is the best. Heart, fire, thumbs up. Thank you. Dr. Zowden's here. He says, I caught it late. Wanted KCE, but it's all good. Just downloaded Bannerlord. Cannot find any two-handed swords, though. I'm glad you downloaded Bannerlord. Dr. Zowden, are you the one that voted for Kingdom Come Deliverance? I was just talking about how on the... Well, I've talked about it several times, that the stream was decided today by my channel members in a poll. And I said it was 4 people voted at the time I started the stream. 4 of the 7 channel members. And 3 of them voted Witcher, 1 voted Kingdom Come Deliverance. So you must have been the Kingdom Come Deliverance one. Okay, looks like I've done everything on this island that I need to. Ouch. Alright, let's fast travel to the next closest spot. But yes, Dr. Zowden super chatted me €5 for that stream. So not only is he a channel member who participated in the poll, and unfortunately did not get the result he wanted Kingdom Come Deliverance, but he still participated, which is always appreciative. But then on top of it, super chatted me €5. What a champion. Definitely not a Stoning Gamer says, man, I am under 15 and I can say that your channel is fire, bro. It's like taking meth and chatting in a mall. Okay. Is that good? Is that a good thing? I've never took meth and then went chatting in the mall. In fact, my local, quote-unquote local mall, the one that was in the big town that's the next town over from where I live, the mall there recently got torn down. We had a mall. I was never a big mall person. Mostly because I'm not a big shopping person. But I've been there enough times for me to have a pretty solid memory of it. And then when it got torn down, I was like, oh, okay. Some of the people were like, I'm so sad, my childhood and my teenage years, my high school years, whatever they were saying. That mall was them, and I'm like, yeah, I guess. I was there a bunch of times.
Go.
Back when I would still buy physical video games and like had a console and stuff, there was a GameStop in it, so that was probably the store in the mall that I went to the most. But I never liked going to GameStop because it was always full of nerds. You know. Lexi1397 says, I hate malls. Estonian Gamer says, for legal reasons, I have never ever in my life even seen meth. Same. That's the same as me. For legal reasons, I've never done cocaine. Ever. And I don't recommend it. Again, for legal reasons. And health reasons. Reminds me of the, Rick and Morty. Oh, your house doesn't look like a crack house anymore. It's clean, like a cocaine house. I thought that was pretty funny. Crazy D Entertainment says they suck for sure now. Well, yeah, I figure back when malls were a big thing and they were popular and had the big stores in them and they weren't just like dying husks, I feel like back then maybe going to the mall was probably more fun. If you like being in stores, which I never have. Lexi1397 says in the food court. I mean, to be fair, if I'm going to go to a mall, you know, a place full of stores, which I don't much care for, and everybody knows my favorite thing to do, like, as a go have fun type thing, my favorite thing is going out to eat, of course I would spend my time in the food court. Redneck Zoo says, mall have really fallen from grace in the internet age. Yeah, definitely, like, well, they were always a marked up place. Buying anything in a store in the mall was always more expensive than buying that thing at a standalone store of the same chain or whatever. So, like, going to a Sears in the mall was more expensive than going to a Sears like just a regular Sears store. Because they had the extra overhead of being in the mall. And I think that was like counter to the design. Malls were supposed to be cheaper for stores. So maybe way back in the day when malls first started being a thing, like in the 50s or whatever, 40s or 50s, maybe back then it was cheaper to have your store be in the mall. But I know that for my whole life, it's always been more expensive. So yeah. Yeah, now we got him. But yeah, so the internet definitely had a big effect on malls. But I think another part of it was just mall culture was supposed to be... It was targeted primarily... I think initially it was a family thing, but then quickly, like in the 70s and 80s, it became targeted at like teenagers. They wanted the mall to be the spot where teenagers went to hang out. And like all things, teenagers don't typically like doing the things that teenagers before them did. You know, so stuff like that only usually lasts a generation or two. Teenagers are a fickle thing to target, you know. And I think that definitely played a big part in it too. I won't deny the internet definitely pulling it down, because the internet has obviously affected most types of retail. I buy most everything I buy it online. I don't feel guilty about it either, because I hate shopping, always have, hate going to stores. And I can very comfortably shop from home and get a better price on pretty much everything. So, I'm part of the reason stores die. It's the same thing as, like, the most popular gas station chain in Wisconsin, and obviously a lot of other places, is Quick Trip. I love Quick Trips. They're a really good gas station. Their prices are always super competitive. Oftentimes, they're the best prices you can find. They have all sorts of... The convenience store has pretty dang good food that you can buy. You know, so if you want to get something to eat, Quick Trip is a great option. The gas they sell is high quality, so same as their diesel. Good high quality fuel. They sell groceries as well as a lot of other stuff. Like I said, there's really no reason not to go to a Quick Trip. And so people are like, they'll be mad. They're like, well, I shop at the smaller gas station chain because I want to support competition. I'm like, yeah, I'm happy for you. I really like Quick Trip. They have they've got great service and a great product, and it's all high quality, you know. So I like that they are big and successful. Lexi says, the last time I went to the mall, a guy grabbed my butt. Never went back, LOL. That's the only reason I go to the mall, is so guys can grab my butt. I can't imagine not wanting to go for that one reason. That's the only reason to go. Estonian Gamer says, man, my Christmas tree is literally growing like it has the sprouts. Probably a little bit too much moisture there. Crazy D Entertainment says, food court is so good, I traded my games in for Chinese food in GameStop. I would beat a game in a day and then recycle it for food. That is a genius business strategy. I never thought of that. The only, in our mall's food court, we didn't have a Chinese place, but we had a kind of like pseudo-Asian knockoff place called Bourbon Chicken. And it was, or actually, I can't remember if that was actually the name. That's just what everyone called it, because even though they had a full menu, the only thing people ever got there was Bourbon Chicken. It was okay. I was never nuts about it. A lot of my friends and family really, really loved it, and they would drive out of their way, specifically go to the mall food court to eat it. I never liked it that much. We had a small takeout Chinese restaurant in my small town that was way better. So if I wanted Chinese, I just went and got it there. Definitely not Estonian Gamer says, man, I am offended. I am a teen and I consider myself a civilized man. I'm not saying teens can't be civilized. I'm saying, as a culture, teenage culture is fickle. It typically is, it's counter by nature. Like, they want to be contrary to other people. They want to be contrary to kids, they want to be contrary to adults, and they also want to be contrary to the last generation of teens. So, typically that's why you always say teenagers are the counterculture, because no matter what they are currently into, it's usually because it's not the main culture. Anyway, Dr. Zedlin says, stream Bannerlord sometime. These green guys are rough to play. They focus on two-handed, but no swords. I mean, I really like two-handed axes in Bannerlord. Like, a lot. They're really fun to use. Cool Lasagna Man says, hello, just wanted to say I love what you're doing, and I appreciate all your content. Thank you. I'm glad you love what I'm doing, and I'm glad you appreciate the content. And it's great to have you dropping by in the stream. I do not recognize the name, so I'm assuming this is the first time you're here. Either that or you've been here before and you've lurked. Which is fair. Renix Zeus says, at my nearest mall, there is a Chinese place run by Mexicans. Best Chinese food in town. It's funny that you should say that, because the town I live nearest to now, because I'm like right outside it, we have a Chinese restaurant that used to be a buffet, but then during COVID it got shut down and bought by the Mexican family who owns the Mexican restaurant in town. So now our local Chinese restaurant, they took the buffet out, which sucks because now it's not a buffet, and it's actually not very good. Like, I've gone there a couple times and I'm like, nah, I don't really like it that much. But it is now run by the same family, the same Mexican family that runs my town's Mexican restaurant. No, the best Chinese food anywhere near me is that small takeout place that I was talking about in the town I used to live in, the small town I used to live in. It is really good. Everything on their menu is delicious. And several of the items are, the one that they make there is the best one I've ever had. Lexi1397 says, hey, thanks for stopping by, cool lasagna man. Crazy D Entertainment says, lurking is the best. As I've already said, depends on your motives. Alright, I feel like we've done Griffin School upgrades. I think keep doing that. Suggested level 18. That's a little high, I guess. Jenny of the Woods. That's a nice low one. That one and the Merry Widow, I can do both of those. Mid-cops. Stunning Gamer says, man, the best food is one served in a Soviet factory cafeteria. I have serious doubts that that's the best food. You know? Maybe it's just me being a regular doubting Thomas, but I don't think that's accurate.
It's all because of his little slug.
Lexi1397 made one of my favorite jokes. I love eating out. I also like going out to eat.
So the notice about Jenny of the Woods, you posted it, right?
Oh, aye. 'Twas me. You do it.
Crazy D Entertainment says, me too. Eating out is the best sometimes.
A picture in me granny's book.
Yeah, a lot of times when I'm getting tired at night, I'll hit the sack, and then I'll go to sleep.
We be afeard of her. But Jenny of the Woods, what's she to you?
Dr. Zowden says, need to get Korean. Beats the shit out of the CCP nasty food. That's fair. If I was going to eat a communist dictatorship's food, I'd prefer Korean over Soviet.
Tell me more about her.
Old Willem must have, but he won't tell you naught. He were weak of heart. We found him in the fields this morning.
Definitely not a Stunning Gamer says, because the best food is one that is made with love and food that fills.
Word is she saw the Wraith.
Yeah, so how are you going to get that from a Soviet food mill?
Outlived 3 husbands, that one. Jenny of the Woods won't do naught to that wench.
Interrogate the witness. Okay. Maybe it should be question the witness.
Wraith that haunts the village. Heard you can tell me about it.
Speaking of filling, enough being suggestive, Lexi. You're going to get us banned. Crazy D Entertainment says Korean here best around is domo. Arigato, Mr. Roboto. Korean barbecue is pretty dang tasty. Vietnamese barbecue's better. There's a really good Vietnamese barbecue place in Minneapolis. We had a pretty good Thai place right next to the college I went to.
So she appeared to you just after twilight? Important clue, thanks. You take care now.
Dang, I was just about to eat a cracker sandwich. Why isn't it showing up? You can see on there I've got a slice of salami, a slice of pepperoni, and a piece of sharp cheddar. Crazy D Entertainment says giggity. Renexu says Lexi, repent. And Lexi says, I am the law. Man, why do you say that Soviet food is bad? It comes from old imperial Russian elite cuisine. Comes from as in, like, it was eaten and then recycled? All I know is that what I know of Soviet cuisine is it's usually reserved for those who are rich government officials.
Through here.
Dr. Zowden says, Cat USA Snack Bar, Camp Casey. Anyone know what I'm truly talking about? Doesn't sound familiar to me. Maybe it's a army thing. Ooh, we got, what else do we got here? Crazy D Entertainment says, she is the law around these parts. Karina Smirnoff is also the law around here.
Probably why she tore her dress. Somebody chase her.
Let's follow these footprints. So they could... I mean, I might have some authority on the channel.
Couldn't outrun her pursuer. He stabbed her or slit her throat. Strange. Left the knife behind. Dried blood on it. Could come in handy. Drag the body through here. Clear trail.
Karina Smirnoff says, heard my name.
Lug the body.
Damn, that is a tasty sandwich.
Here. Shallow grave.
You understand wrongly, Nico, when you exclude the famine.
Letter.
I don't know, definitely not a Stony Gamer.
The lover killed the woman.
I keep being unsure if you are speaking ironically, or if it's just because you are a youth. I know quite a few people that are, you know, in their between 50s and 90s that escaped Soviet Russia and surrounding, you know, Eastern Bloc states. And their story of the Soviet Union as a communist dictatorship is considerably more negative than the one that you're always talking about. You know, personally having tons and tons of family members executed by the state, being starved to death, worked to death, having all of their property taken from them. That's typically the story I get from all of the people I know that survived the Soviet Union. There she blows. I think you might just be hungry enough, LOL. For what? Definitely not a Stony Gamer says, when did they escape? Well, I mean, I don't know the exact year that each and every one of them was able to escape the Soviet Union. But here's two things. The use of the word escape should be enough, because it's not when were they kicked out, it's when did they finally manage to escape without being murdered by their government. That right there should tell you that it's not a situation that you want to be in. But, I feel like most of them got out sometime in the late 70s, early 80s, is when they were able to get the hell out. My point is we have bad farming years and famines and stuff all the time in the United States. Like, that stuff happens, but it never starves our entire country to death because we don't have centralized control.
Did you know them? They must have lived in this village.
God, he knows.
Under Stalin it was bad, under Lenin too, but after that it was
They
good.
disappeared, both of
Oh
them.
no, the ones I knew, most of them got out late into the Union.
Found the girl's grave and a letter. It's clear she rejected.
Dr. Zowden says, the best part about Capital. Lexi says, and where have you been, Karina? Definitely not a Stony Gamer says, it was so. It was, but during Stalin.
So that's to me.
Dr. Zowden says, the best part about capitalism, the best part about capitalism, the economy tanks. I assume that there's a part 2 to that statement.
Used to meet.
Well, can't say for sure. But the young'uns, they go to the clearing, mostly west of the village, past the field.
Karina Smirnoff says, I haven't been feeling great lately. I've been losing weight and having headaches a lot. Are you dying?
Way I can hope to lift this curse. Gotta drive the Wraith away. Stand a chance if I can.
See, that's generally how I know that I don't have a serious illness. Because I'll look up, like, I'll have a symptom like persistent stomach aches or something, you know, I'll have whatever the case may be. I'll be suffering from something and I'll look up the symptoms, and all of the really serious things, one of the symptoms, and it's one of the key symptoms, is unexplained weight loss. And I'm like, don't have that. If the symptom was unexplained weight gain or unable to lose weight, then I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, I think I might have that thing. But no, it's always weight loss, and I'm like, nope, I'm not sick. Or at least I'm not sick with that.
Show me what you got.
Dr. Zowden says the best part about capitalism is the economy tanks. You get bread lines. Bread lines are good. That's what Bernie Sanders said. Actually said, I can't do a good Bernie Sanders. Bread lines are good. That's probably the best Bernie Sanders I have. Burn Zula's letter and dried blood from the knife. I should check the glossary quick to make sure this isn't a Noon Wraith. Bestiary. That's what we're looking for. Cursed ones. Nope. Draconoids. I just like clearing the little circles. I don't want to have all of them there. Insectoids. That ain't it either. Necrophages. That ain't it. Not them either. Relicts. Won't be them. It'll be specters, but we'll, like I said, I just want to clear all these first. Alright, Jenny of the Woods. A night wraith will form a mirror. She herself can take on a material render. The best way to force her to stay. Never attempt to fight one in the middle of the night when the moon hangs in the sky. Okay, so we don't want it to be night because Jenny of the Woods is a night wraith. Alright. So it's...
A night wraith won't appear in daylight.
I'll wait until... I don't know. Oh, look at that. Oh, what did they say? Stony Gamer says, where we said family members escaping from. These are not my family members, the people I'm talking about. They're just people I know. I worked with some of them. No. So, not family members. My family has been in this country for some time. Because you've got, my dad's side of the family came here in the 1870s, at the earliest ones, the latest ones getting here in the 1890s. And my mom's side of the family was probably somewhere right around there too, for the most part at least. And then later on, in the, like 2 generations ago, some American Indians got mixed into my family as well, but that was, again, you know, not a recent immigration there either. Kind of back to the old land bridge between Asia and the United States for them. So, so no, these, the expatriated Soviets that I was talking about are not related to me by marriage or blood. They're just acquaintances and friends. But as for where they escaped from, like I said, some of them from Russia proper. I think one of them was from one of the Slovakias. I don't remember exactly. The best part of communism is the economy tanks, and sometimes you get bread. You may want to go in. Crazy Entertainment says, you should go get checked. I am personally against normally checking in a doctor, but those are bad symptoms. That's true. Patrick Brooks says, she will only come out at night. It makes night... It auto-makes it night. Okay, yeah. I know nothing about the life in the Warsaw Pact. I only know about life in the Soviet Union and the Eastern Bloc. Once. Estonian, who let you out of the gulag? It's only been like a week. I have a hunch that it's my back messing me up. Whenever it's something like that, best thing to do, if you've got serious symptoms and you think it may be your back, get to the chiropractor as soon as possible, you know, get yourself in, get an appointment, get a good adjustment, and then see if it improves. If not, then yeah, I go to the doctor straight away with any serious symptoms. Because, it's typically easy, fast, and pretty cheap to get into a chiropractor quickly, especially if you have a regular chiropractor. So a lot of times, even if you call up and schedule a doctor's appointment, and then after that schedule a chiropractor appointment, a lot of times you'll still get into the chiropractor first.
So you're that white one.
Greetings.
What do ye want?
Jenny of the Woods is gone. Got rid of her.
She'll not be back.
No. I know how to dispatch night wraiths for good.
Aye, of course. Your reward, as agreed. Many thanks to ye, Master Witcher.
Farewell.
Geralt ruled in the wilds. We'd have starved long past.
Yeah, I think for those the mozzarella's wrapped up in meat, I like all three of them, but the pepperoni one is definitely the best. Alright, where's that other one? The Merry Widow. Talk to the grave digger. Our hymn today is In the Garden of Eden by Iron Butterfly. Stunning Gamer says, Doctor, I am an honest Soviet youth promoting the best system. Why should I go to Gulag? I mean, you may be an honest Soviet youth, and you're definitely promoting a system, but I don't know about best. Honestly, here's the problem with Studying Gamer, though. Watching this stream, since I'm anti-communist, would be enough to get you sent to the Gulag in the Soviet Union. So.
Hear about the job. Seems you got a
You know?
problem. Some graves get dug up.
Thought we're only it.
I mean, I am talking for life in the ESSR, not the whole USSR. Lexi1397 says, well, hopefully you feel better soon. I hope so too, Grana. Redneck Zeus says, my grandma was a reflexologist. I don't know what that is, Redneck Zeus. What's a reflexologist? Dr. Zouden says, drink a fifth of whiskey, smoke a pack of cigarettes, and take some over-the-counter sleep aids for back pain. I would just say, take some aspirin and change your socks. That fixes pretty much everything. Dr. Zouden says that's what I do for my back anyway. I typically take some Excedrin or something over the counter. I don't typically add cigarettes and alcohol into my back pain. Lex1397 says, try bending over and lifting your arms behind your back. It helps. Cracking your own back, eh? I don't trust chiropractors. They went to a weekend course. I do it myself. Patrick Brooks says, back brace and heating pad and stretching. That is true. Heat is one of the most consistent ways to help relieve back pain. Especially if it might be muscle related. Because it's important to remember that back pain can be lots of different things. It could be that your back is out of place. Could be like a disc or something. But a lot of times it's actually muscle. It's a muscle pain in your back. And that can cause, like, it can push against your discs and cause problems if you've got a muscle that's jerked out of place or something, you know. So yeah, one of the easiest ways to go with for back pain is definitely heat. Redneck Zeus says she fixed people's health problems by massaging their feet.
Show me what you got.
Is that like a real thing? Or is it kind of a bunch of nonsense? I'm not doubting it. I just, I've never heard of it before. Make Russian soup and drink ginger and lemon tea.
Corpse. Definitely couldn't have snatched the kid from the village, though. Still, might be worth looking at those graves.
You guys would have liked my grandfather. He, to fight inflammation, he used to make white pine bark tea all the time and drink it. People would ask, what does that taste like? And I'm like, exactly like a white pine tree smells.
Dug up with a hoe? Nope.
Patrick Brooks says, stretching will fix it, I promise. I can't promise that stretching will fix it, but being flexible and limber and everything is definitely an excellent way to try to avoid back pain.
Been dug up recently. Smell of cadaverine's old, though.
Crazy Dan Entertainment says, Bob and Brad, go watch them best online chiropractor videos. I've watched quite a few online chiropractor videos. I like it when you get a good pop. I watched this one once that had a disgusting pop, though, and it kind of made me sick. I was like, ugh, after hearing it. I was like, that one did not sound good. It was a slightly different tone, but it was just enough to make it sound not like a good crack. Bullet says, my grandma was a respiratory therapist. Is that someone who smokes? Crazy Dan Entertainment says, I learned about it myself. Karina Smirnov says, I'm going to go lay down. Have a good stream. I'll be listening. Redneck Zeus says, about as real as chiropractors. I mean, I'll take your word for it. Because I've had good results with chiropractors. Cracking your back, you know. And I once hurt my shoulder pretty bad. Well, it wasn't my shoulder, it was my rotator cuff. I was shooting archery with a recurve bow that I hadn't shot bow for a long time, like many years, and it was just too heavy of a poundage to get with, so I had fired a couple quivers out of it, and I took one shot and my form was really bad. I was basically just pulling with my arm, my back wasn't in it at all, and I held it, you know, to get my side picture right, maybe 2 seconds, and my shoulder jerked forward and I had hurt my rotator cuff pretty bad. And so, not too long ago, I went to the chiropractor to get that fixed and it worked pretty well. Patrick Brooks super chatted $1.99. Very nice, Patrick Brooks. Way to support the channel. Am I saying Brooks? Yeah, Brooks. I saw that Estonian Gamer said Patrick Books, and I was like, oh, have I been pronouncing it wrong? Definitely not. Estonian Gamer says, man, when I say Soviet times were great, I mean Estonia after Stalin. Well, I fell a little bit. But I got back up again. Because they're never going to keep me down. I get knocked down. But I get up again. This is the one where I go to the shack and it's like got a nasty hag in it, I think. Look at that, a shack. Who would have thunk?
Whatever filth lives here sure chose an unusual place for its lair. Or just plain clever.
Hell yeah, Patrick. Is this the Krusty Krab?
Human
no, this is
skulls in a
Patrick.
magic circle. Monsters clearly using them, drawing strength.
My bad, I can't read. Can't read books?
Some cooking. Yes, it's a human femur. A child's. Gotta be a grave hag. Collected the skulls to draw the power through them. Confidence grew enough it started prowling the village. Need to take the skulls. Force it to go back to the cemetery. I'll get it there in the cemetery. It's likely to crawl out after dark.
Let's go, let's go, let's go! You go camp out, wait for the grave hag, and then when she comes, we're gonna cut her tongue off. Patrick Brooks says, I'm a tire technician, semi-trucks, my back was jacked up. Crazy D Entertainment says, reflexology is a dedicated practice to healing the body with the body. Points in our body connected to other points in our body. Releasing tensions in one spot can relieve it across many points. A lot of deer on this hill. There's my deer hunting done. That's how I do it in real life. I get my longsword, and I go out into the woods, and I wait for a deer to show up, and then I kill it with my sword. Aha, I got the pants. Patrick Brooks says, deep stretches. Yes, sir.
Thief. Skulls he stole. My skulls. Ought to dig up his own.
There she is. Right on cue.
Frickin' grave hag. Oh, I didn't want Yurden. I wanted Ard. Was Yurden actually doing something to her? Damn. Wanted to parry it so I could cut her tongue off. Morn tart. Patrick Brooks says, I got my game paused watching you. Stretching every day, especially good, sound stretches, you know, is a really good way to stay healthy and feeling good. It obviously doesn't solve all problems, but it solves a lot of problems. That and obviously staying nice and hydrated. The more water you drink and the more stretching you do, the better your health is going to be in general.
Take it easy.
Especially before you do anything. Like, stretching in general is good, just daily stretches. But if you're going to do any work or anything like that, you should definitely stretch beforehand.
Hear about the job.
And?
It's taken care of. It was a grave hack that dug up the graves and snatched the child.
Aye. So, how is the little tyke?
Child's dead.
Oh, 'tis as I thought.
What about my reward?
Oh, I've not forgotten, nay. Here you go. Thanks much for your help.
Take care.
Estonian Gamer says in Estonia everything was localized. Everything you had near you'd use so. Lexi1397 said, I had a doe walk about 5 feet from my chair opening day 2 years ago. She never saw me. She just sat there eating and meandering past me slowly. I've had some does walk close enough to kill them with a knife while I'm hunting. I think a big part of it is after a while they get to know that you're not hunting for does, you're hunting for bucks, and so they're just not that scared of you. But another thing is they're definitely not as observant as bucks. I've been streaming for 3 hours? Really? Doesn't feel that long. What else do we have? Blood Ties, that's a level 12 mission. That's appropriate. Find Heroda Birth's body. That's a racing one. Don't much care for that. Gwent, which I could do. I don't want to do the Kirametz one. Because that'll result in me needing to go to that stupid island for her, which I hate. Swamp Thing. That's a level 12 one. Could be fun. Lexi1397 said, my cat just sat on my knee and won't move. Patrick Brooks says, lots of combat changes. Thoughts? So far I've just been enjoying the game. I mean, the combat definitely feels different, but I don't know exactly what they changed. So, like, things that have worked for me in the past and timing things that I got used to don't seem to be accurate anymore. But that being said, I haven't noticed a real negative change. So, I don't have anything bad to say about the changes, but I've also noticed that there definitely are some. I briefly, when I was installing the next-gen update, I briefly read through, like, the notes to see what all changed. And, it all seemed, like, for the most part, it seemed like good stuff to change. I think they definitely probably put a lot of research into what mods they were and weren't going to adapt for this update. Or adopt, I should say. And I think they probably did a pretty good job, because there's some new armor and new weapons and stuff, and so, like, new content. From what I understand, there's some new quests. I haven't done any new quests yet, but I've heard that there are some. Adding the Netflix stuff was stupid in my opinion, because, I mean, it's probably fun for people who are really a big fan of the Netflix show, but I think there's a lot more fans of the games than there are of the show. And I could be wrong about that, but I think The Witcher 3 sold, like, 40 or 50 million copies. I don't think the Netflix show has that many viewers. And, you know, it's more expensive to buy a video game than it is to watch a show as a part of your subscription. So I think the games are still significantly more popular than the show has ever been.
Oi, master! You stay clear of that fog if you value your life. Careful, sir. A monster prowls the bog. Enter the mist and
definitely not Estonian Gamer says, and in ESSR, Estonian Soviet Socialist Republic, when you followed the laws, you wouldn't get in trouble. Karina Smirnov says, I love hunting. Same. It's fun, isn't it?
Assume you put up the notice in Downwarren.
In ESSR, sure, stuff was rare, but life was fancy and, like, formal.
Need a scribe a dozen eggs to write it up.
I can help. For a fee.
Course! Why, even an ox don't pull a plow for free.
Alright, time I got to work. Where'll I find this monster?
Start south of here. But beware, bad poxy air hangs o'er the marsh. Stings
bad
your
poxy
eyes,
air.
claws at your throat. Claws so hard you could choke.
Find out what's killing people in the fog. Oh, a drowner. I thought that were the sound of a foglet. Stop it, you dink. I'm kind of getting used to the katanas. You know, I didn't think I'd get used to them, but I'm already. They're growing on me. Look, a dead body.
What now, you piece of filth?
Something here.
A rock.
There's an artifact Kira gave
Oh,
me.
cool. What did I find?
Tracks masked with magic.
Redneck Zeus says, I've never been hunting. Wanted to for a long time, but I never had anyone to take me. Zeus, if next year during rifle season you come up to Wisconsin,
Here.
you can come hunting on my land. Steps heading this way? Yeah, I thought they were.
No ordinary fog, this. The odor. Metallic almost.
I'm sure it's just a foglet. Guessing it has something to do with this glowing rock over here. Let's use the Eye of Nehelene. Life was proper by the books. Everyone was dressed fancy all day, every day. Every day was a feast day. Could just be a time thing, though. Back in the 40s and 50s in the United States, people wore business suits all the time in public. Everyone got dressed up to fly on planes, you know?
Bastards are strong. Must be the fog. Guess I'm dealing with an old foglet. I'm behind an illusion.
Hey, cool. I found the upgrade diagram for the Ursine Silver Sword. Nowadays, you go to the store and everyone's wearing like shorts and sweatpants and pajamas and, you know, definitely a different culture. Lexi1397 says it's fun. I have my entire life. I love it mostly because my family would hunt together. Ooh, what an ugly looking foglet. No, hunting's fun. So like deer hunting is probably out of... Ooh boy, I'm gonna need Quen. Out of all of them, big game hunting, including deer and elk and stuff like that, is the least fun for the... Oh crap, I died. It's the least fun for the simple fact that it's the slowest and takes the most money and might, you know, you might leave doing nothing. So my recommendation for people who have never been hunting is to go small game hunting first, or bird hunting, something like that, where you're more likely to actually find something, and it's a lot less sitting and waiting and a lot more doing stuff. It's more active. Plus, it's, in my opinion, more enjoyable to hunt when it's warm. Some people are wearing tails around. Yes, I've more than once seen someone in public wearing a tail. Usually sticking out from underneath a rather short pleated skirt. Not exactly what I would call proper. But it usually matches the fake ears they have on top of their head, so that's always fun. Stony Gamer says, I mean, it was in the 40s in the US, but in Estonia, by the 1990s, life had been that way for the past 200 plus years. I mean, it just depends on the country, because in the United States, the reason I say the 40s and 50s is just because, you know, it was still common. Up through the 60s and 70s, your middle class, at the very least, still wore business suits on a regular basis. You know, like, if you were anything above an auto worker or something like that, you almost certainly, for the most part, wore some sort of a suit most of the time, just because that's what society had dictated. But earlier than that, for sure, for a good chunk of all of world history, if you could, you would wear formal clothing on a regular basis. You know, like that all starts in the, I mean, it doesn't start in the medieval period, but it definitely became extremely popular in the medieval period. If you had the ability to wear something that showed that you were not dirt poor, you would, you know. Damn, this guy's kind of hard to beat. I should probably put some oil on my blade, huh? 69mega.com. Ugh, Tinder. Our girls write first. Ooh. Dave might be lurking. He's missing out on all this bot action. Alright, let's get some... No, inventory was right, yeah. Let's get some necrophage oil. Oh, wait, no. What are foglets? I suddenly can't remember. I don't think they're necrophages, though. They might be relics. Oh, boy. Got so many little gold stars. Alright. Ignis Fatus? I guess foglets are necrophages. I thought they were. Relic oil. Here's what I'll do. I will put some necrophage oil. Do I have enhanced necrophage oil? That would be the best. Nope, don't. Just have the regular kind. And then we'll see if I have a foglet decoction. I don't. That's a shame. Lexi1397 says, I've always wanted to wear a fancy, long evening dress, but I never go to anything that fancy. Redneck Zeus says, politics is downstream of culture, which is downstream of religion, but I digress, not the other way around. It depends. Politics being downstream of culture it's a rallying cry for conservatives. It's true, you know, politics is it is downstream of culture. Culture does affect politics, but it also goes the other way. Culture is also downstream politics. It goes both ways. Both affect each other. I would say, I don't know if I have an opinion on which one affects it more, but, damn, I don't have a foglet decoction. Well, I've got the oil on now, so that might help me a little bit. I always wanted to wear a bowler hat. That's funny. I can't think of ever wanting to wear a bowler hat. Man, you can't stagger this guy at all. I know what to do. Damn it! It takes so long for my Quen to be able to cast it again. That's not what I wanted to do! I wanted to do it now! There we go, that staggered him a little bit. Yeah! Did we get him? We got him! Woo! Damn. Yeah, that guy, I couldn't stagger him at all, so he would just get me. And his attacks were way too powerful. Anyway. A Sony Gamer says, I mean, if I could, I'd wear a fancy suit with a pocket watch, but today you will look like an idiot among the furries. Oh, yeah, I mean, people would... You would be wearing, like, a suit, and most people would be like, wow, that looks pretty good. But yes, you would definitely probably get the weirdest looks. People would treat you like you were the weird one, even though, like we said, people walk around with tails and fake ears and dressed as, you know, a gender different than their own and all sorts of stuff, and that's supposed to be apparently very normal. This cave has lots of branches. None of them seem to have any loot in them, though. Crazy Entertainment says, I just got a pocket watch. Lexi1397 says, pocket watches are a neat thing to have. I guess. If you're gonna have a watch, now it's more of a novelty, because most people have a cell phone. So I guess if you're gonna go for the novelty, you should go full-on novelty and make it a pocket watch instead of a wristwatch. That way you can pull it out and be like, oh yes, I have the time. Stonian Gamer. Oh crap, I'm behind on these. Pocket watches or anything. If you can't stand out, blend in. Nico, have you heard about the Anne Vesky, a musician famous in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and still is popular in Russia? I have not. Right? Oh, it's so stupid. Redneck Zeus says, well, a broken culture can create reactionary politics to fix the broken culture, but that's a bit different, I think, than culture being downstream of politics, IMO. Crazy Entertainment says, yes, I'm working on the opening with style. Redneck Zeus says, mechanical watches are based, Apple watches are cringe. Lexi says, yes, but it's neat, I love it. I don't have a problem with pocket watches. I agree. I think they're pretty cool. And like I said, opening, like Crazy D said, you got to work on opening it with style. You got to have a little bit of flair behind it.
Ha! Village folk will be content. Give them cause to celebrate. Well, you've earned your reward. Take it and fare you well.
I'm gonna loot this guy's middle of the swamp storage. I like this little shack thing he's building out here in the middle of this nasty swamp. It's like, where should I live? Over there. Well, we haven't played any Gwent yet today. So before we quit for the day, we're gonna play some Gwent. I'm just glad I got that stupid foglet. That was, like I said, you couldn't stagger him at all, and his hits did a crazy amount of damage. Definitely not a Stony Gamer says, yes, appears I have the required time to chat with a peasant like you. What? Oh, I get it, the watch. I thought you were insulting me. Your jeans have that little pocket for a reason, might as well use it. Is that a stopwatch pocket? Is that what that pocket's for? Say, the jeans I have now, because I've been recently buying Ridgecut brand jeans, so they've got double pockets all the way around. For the most part, I really like it, but my back right pocket is where I keep my wallet. And so having the double pocket back there gets annoying when I'm trying to put my wallet away, because I'll get it stuck in the insidemost pocket, which is slightly smaller. And then the wallet sticks out, and I don't like that, so... it's funny, I did not know that little pocket was for a stopwatch. I always wondered what it was for. I was like, this pocket's too small to be useful. Stonian Gamer says, no, Zeus, that's not how you use your pocket watch. I'd like to keep it in a chest pocket, or like wear a waistcoat and keep it in a pocket in your waistcoat. That's the fanciest. That way you can pull it out while you're smoking your pipe. Did not want to pull my sword out. I used a regular watch for so long. When I bought my first smartwatch, I got soaked in rain working out, so never went back. They're not convenient for me. I used to wear a watch when I was younger, like I had a wristwatch and I would wear it frequently, but I have not for a long time. I don't like actually just wearing most things. So a watch is just one more thing. It's basically just jewelry, you know. There we go. Managed to get around there.
We know each other?
Not personal, right?
Finally, the end of my snack platter.
I've a gift. I see the future. Yours.
A Ferrero Rocher.
Not for free, I guess.
I don't ask much. If you've a bite to eat.
Wanted to ask you.
I play Gwent. And we can play for the prize card in my collection.
You a mind reader?
The good gods did bless me with some precognition. I say some, because it's selective like, only applies to mundane matters. Not a bird'll ever shit on me, but all my foresights never helped me win a Gwent.
Let's lay him out.
Lexi says, I don't wear anything on my wrists because I have small wrists. I only wear necklaces. Look at that, we got Dijkstra. Let's add him to our deck. Alright, now we can get rid of someone. Let's get rid of... We'll get rid of Kiramets. There we go. Ooh, he has a monster deck. I probably don't need 2 Kedwini Siege, but didn't want that. Well, I've got... No, crap. That won't help. Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll lose. Stony Gamer says, I have a custom leather belt with a custom belt buckle. You dick. Should have seen that coming, huh? Well, he did melee. Damn, he passed. Well, now I'm gonna have to win this round. Guess I'll play this one. I was gonna let him win, I just wanted to have him draw out another card before I did. Clear weather card? Give me a spy! Alright, what are we gonna do? Let's do this first. Custom? 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 Custom is the correct spelling. C-U-S-T-O-M. Redneck Zeus is correct. That is the correct spelling. Probably shouldn't have played that yet, huh? I know what to do. I'll just run out the clock here. Get him to use up all of his cards, then I'll pass and I'll win the last round. Why I a dick. I used to be that country girl type in high school. I have calmed down a lot since. LOL. Lexi1397, that's cringe. Because I could play two more. Yeah, there we go. We gotta get him to use up all of his stupid summoning cards so I can... Because he has to win this one. If he doesn't win this one, he can't win the game. There we go. Now I'll pass, because he's got 0 cards left. See? We had a weird strategy, but I think it might work. Woohoo, we win, because we're the best. Aw, beans. Stony Gamer says, I wear a fedora to school. That is cringe. Lexi1397 said, I had like 3 different belt buckles and a cowgirl hat. In high school, I wore belt buckles. I had a really big one that people really got a kick out of.
Take this card. You deserve it.
Know of any others who play Gwent?
Lexi1397 says, as you see in my profile pic, LOL, that was me in junior year. That is true. I do say that. Redneck Zeus says, the country girl aesthetic is hot, in my opinion. Well, yeah, it's not that it's not hot. It's just that it's, it becomes, I think, too much of an identity, you know? And I think that's where you get the cringe out of it, because it's like the, you know, the Luke Bryan country girl, not the Patsy Cline country girl, if that makes any sense. Where's our next one? Let's go to Oriton. Crazy D Entertainment says, I used to have a fedora. I had a trilby at one point. Hey look, it's that girl I rescued from The Witcher.
It's me, Millie. Remember me?
I do.
Of course I do.
I've a gift for you. Because Mummy always said...
Crazy D Entertainment says, very hot. Redneck Zoo says, I like rodeo queens. Ah, it looks just like me. A Stunning Gamer says, I wear a white t-shirt, a suit jacket, black jeans, and a winter black overcoat with a fedora when outside.
Thanks for the gift.
Do you say milady a lot? Like, do you tip your hat and say milady? Lexi1397 says, it makes perfect sense to me, LOL. All you guys are thirsting in the chat today. What's up with you guys today? Has it been too long since you visited, I don't know what pun to make here. Y'all seem thirsty. That's basically the crux of my argument. You got,
Where'd you come from?
Crazy D Entertainment and Redneck Zeus thirsting on country girls and rodeo queens. Lexi1397 says, now I wear skinny jeans and hoodies or tees.
Ain't no fish.
Heard you're a good boatwright and an even better card player.
Want to play?
Always ready for a round.
What card did I win from that last guy? I suppose it was probably something for the monster deck. Imlereth, yeah. Well, let's see how many of these decks we can actually build. We'll pop 3 of our Gontro Dims in there. We've got 2 of the crones. Gula Griffin, Zoltine. I had 1 decoy, 2 commander's horns. We'll leave it at that. So we have 9 out of those. Nilfgaardian. Let's see what our Nilfgaardian deck looks like. Almost got a Nilfgaardian deck, but we'll stick with Northern Realms for now. Crinfid Reaver's Dragon Hunter 5. Do we have one of those already? We do. Should put that one in and swap out Vess. So that's the thing you always got to look for. If you've got one that's got the same basic points, but they have a doubling effect, they're better to swap in. Definitely Not a Stunning Gamer says, man, only woman who loves me is my mom. That is the life, isn't it, though? Definitely Not a Stunning Gamer says, skinny jeans very cringe in me and my ma boy's opinion. You're young yet, give it time. Y'all thirsty. That's all I know. Stealing my spy right off the bat. I'm gonna play my other spy now. Lexi1397 says, I'm too short for regular pant sizes. Skinny jeans make it easier for me to find good-fitting jeans. That's fair, I guess. I don't know the exact science behind skinny jeans, but I guess that makes sense. Yay, I can use my Gontro Dim. That was a really lucky draw. I was able to spy 3 times, and I didn't accidentally summon, like, pick too many of my Gontro Dims out. I got just one of them. So that went well. Do 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 do. What do you understand, Crazy D Entertainment? The Starting Gamer says, Nico, what is your opinion on extra skinny jeans? Like I'm talking you can feel your legs skinny. That depends on which opinion. As a man who is subject to carnal weakness, I find them incredibly attractive on shapely women. As someone who would like it if society was a little bit more modest and less promiscuous in general, I think that they probably shouldn't be worn in most situations. Lexi1397 says, I can fold them and they won't ruin my outfit. Crazy Entertainment says, everything. You understand everything? Lexi1397 says, I hate super skinny jeans. I dated a girl once who wore jeggings all the time. Which, from what I understand, are just leggings, but they're like screen printed to look like denim. Renexu says, country girls are hot, but trad Cath homesteader is hotter. Well, of course! How do you get hotter than a trad cat homesteader? Can't beat it. So good. Especially if they also know how to cook. Crazy Entertainment says, I personally like them on women. Men is not my concern. Me, I need something more loose-fitting. You gotta have the tightest, testicle grippinest, sperm killinest jeans in the world. Alrighty, what should we do now? Another archer, I guess. Stunning Gamer says, same, Nico, same. You are an honest Soviet worker, like it or not. I don't think I am. Renixu says, and I'm not even Catholic. Yeah, but I understand the attraction even without being Catholic. Ooh, goody. He used a spy on me. I don't want to pass yet. I want him to use more of his cards because I don't want to risk losing the 3rd round. We'll use these guys. We got to make him really want it. Might negatively affect me. Suck on that, opponent. Wish I had a clear weather all of a sudden. Oh, what can I do? I can do this. How did that only bring me up to 9? I must have miscounted that. Oh, I did. I did miscount that, for sure. Well, how about that? Alright, I'm gonna have to pass. Stony Gamer says, I personally need huge loose jeans to fit my, giant, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one, I like that. Crazy D Entertainment says, I need my legs able to maneuver how I wish, flexible and nimble in tight pants. I have no freedom. I want to use this guy. Yay, look at that. Oh, good. I thought it was about to affect Siege. I was like, I kind of need Siege. Haha, we win again.
Rules say the card's mine.
Aye, 'tis indeed. Cards, believe you're good enough to try your luck against Hattie. Folk laugh at him because he's young and a bit dim, but word is, he weren't afraid to beat the Baron himself.
Yeah, we'll see. He's probably pretty good, but it's probably just because he has a way better deck than any kid in Velen should have. That's another thing. So, like, Gwent cards are supposed to be incredibly valuable in this world, you know? There's a mission in Novigrad where you've got people, like, killing each other over them and paying thousands of coins to try to get them. So, Gwent cards are clearly very, very valuable in this world. Which makes sense considering everybody likes gambling with them, you know? And then you've got, you know, in poverty-stricken Velen, in Midcops, one of the poorest little hamlets in Velen or whatever, and you've got this kid who's got a ridiculously good Gwent deck. You're like, wouldn't it make sense to sell that and move out of Velen? Like, no matter how much you like Gwent, you can always rebuild your Gwent deck, but if that's worth thousands of Novigrad crowns, which, like I said, we know it is, because every rare card in the game is apparently worth that much to the right buyer, if you have a deck worth like tens of thousands of crowns, that's enough to pack up, move to Novigrad, buy a house, and live there. And then you could just, I would say then after that, rebuild your, you know, Gwent deck or whatever if you want to keep playing Gwent. But like, living in Midcops doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Stunning Gamer says, yeah, really can't manspread sit in skinny jeans. I mean, you could, but then you're just showing bulge. It's probably improper. Is that what it's called? Manspreading? Yeah, that's when you sit, so you're not crushing your nuts. That's what they call it. The New Age feminists. Feminists? I feel like I'm saying that right. Crazy D Entertainment says, he's stupid. I would so have killed him for his card if I live in the world. XXX18.in adult dating chat says, hog. Improper bulging. Yeah, you can't ever get caught being guilty of improper bulging. Get in real trouble for that. We need a mod to drop the old kick hammer on this this lovely sex spot we have here in the chat. I'm just happy that this stream is apparently popular enough that we've had, what, like 6 or 7 bots? It's always disconcerting when I'm so unpopular that not even the bots will show up. Lexi1397 says, skinny jeans on guys looks, slap some assless chaps on, perfection.
In exchange for your help.
So, Lexi likes assless chaps, but not skinny jeans on men. Noted.
Paddy don't know how to plough or sew, nor catch no fishes. But he sure can play cards. So Addy plays Gwent.
Can I see your deck? Yeah, here it is. Takes it. Nerd. Walks away.
So let's play.
Crazy D Entertainment says, I tried chaps once, LOL. Were they... I mean, technically all chaps are assless chaps. It's just that for the look of assless chaps, you have to be wearing them without pants on underneath. That's it. Because chaps, by definition, are assless. I've probably said that enough times to get me demonetized. Must have been a Nilfgaardian card? Yeah, it was Lethal of Goulet. I was about to say Gullet. Lethal of Gullet. I haven't gotten a hero card for the North yet. Alright, we have a spy. We've got a... Did we have a mannequin? We'll get rid of Biting Frost. Seal it to Damn, I should have gotten rid of Seal it to Transylville instead. That's okay, we'll start with the spy. He's a northern deck. He's only got 14. You can tell he's got a lean, mean fighting machine over there. When you got the minimum amount of cards, that's because you've got good cards. I like to run the minimum because it allows me to plan better. There's nothing worse than being like, yeah, I've got a couple extra cards just in case. You never get to play your max amount of cards, you know? Definitely not a stunning gamer says, yeah, nah, .xxx18, I don't need your services, have massive woman pulling abilities. Wasn't it you not that long ago that just said the only woman that loves you is your mom? A stunning gamer says, chaps are too kinky. I don't know that they're kinky. I've never tried them. I feel like it would be an interesting look for me. Well, I guess we're gonna do these guys, because he already fogged up our... Dang. He's pulling out the big guns there, Hattie. Checkmate. Vernon Roach. Betcha that's going to be the card I get if I beat him. He's playing a Northern deck. Vernon Roach is a Northern hero card. That could be the one. Alright, let's play some artillery. Artillery, I should say. He's going to use up all his cards in round 1. The only thing to fear is running out of beer. You never know your kings until you try them. Chains and whips excite me. And apparently assless chaps. I don't want to use this one yet. I want to use that... Damn, I wish he hadn't fogged me. 40 to 51. I'm going to have to let him win on this one. He's only got 2 cards left. I have a recall, so... He passed. Interesting. So we're going to play this card to win. I get a card back. Sweet! It's a spy! Haha! I'll win now. I may be bad, but I'm perfectly good at it. I see what you're doing there. Ah! Everyone's going too fast. I like electro-stimulus. They are out of leather, and when a 17-year-old blonde skinny probably gay managed looks horrible. I was gone for a minute. What the hell did I walk into? Yeah, doctor's out, and they're all talking about their kinks now. Bunch of degenerates. This guy has nothing but fog cards. He passed. Yeah, but I have 2... I got 2 decoys, so I can use this card 3 times. Let's get some melee! Speaking of melee, did you hear that Pele died? He died last week. All of you hardcore soccer fans out there are probably heartbroken. Suck on this, Hattie. I just whooped ya. Boom! 31 to 5. The 2010s, LOL. Doctor, I don't know. Yeah, the chat was going on.
It happens. Take your prize.
What a good sport. Didn't even throw a fit. Alrighty, well, that's where I'm going to end for today. Yes, a stunning gamer, I'm sure you probably call it football. But here in the United States, we play real football. Anyway. Now that I've alienated Asia, Europe, Africa, South America, all the countries that like fake football, or continents, I should say, not countries. Oceania, I feel like they're big into soccer as well. Anyway, no, why end? Why end? Because I've been streaming for almost 4 hours. I got stuff to do, man. I gotta get going. So, I mean, the next time I stream will be next Tuesday. Who knows? I might default to Kingdom Come Deliverance next week because we've done 2 Witchers in a row. Or I might do another channel member poll. So, if before then you want to be able to affect the outcome of that poll, you can become a channel member for as little as $1.99 a month for clicking that little join button down there. I'd say pretty affordable, and it will allow you to vote on things that I put up for members only. So, please stay. We are bored, guys. I got stuff to do. I gotta get going. This is 4 hours ain't so long. Yeah, I know it ain't. Dr. Southern says, okay, I'm going to kink shame all y'all. This is a political, social, food, religion channel. Yes. There's no room for your thirsty kink stuff here. This is stop the ending. I cannot continue to stream. I do have to stop. I have to go. But I'll be streaming again next Tuesday. Should be starting around the same time. I like to try aiming, so like we've made it almost 4 hours here. That's a pretty good stream for me. I gotta get going. Don't leave me to starve. I've got well over 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel. You can watch all of them, comment and like on them, and build a parasocial relationship with me through them. That way you can get to know me really well, and you can maybe even stalk me at some point in the future. But with all that in mind, thanks a ton for watching. Have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I'll see you next week, but otherwise I'm going to have tons of videos between now and then. So maybe you can check those out. But that's all for today, so we'll see you next time.